So, where are we driving to again?
I honestly have no clue. I mean, you're
Uh,
the one behind the wheel.
Right.
Honestly, you should not be the one behind the wheel. You know that out of all of us, all three, there's only one person with a driving license here, and it's not you two.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
no. With all due respect, I actually have a driver's license. I'm just not confident in my
Oh
skills in
my
driving.
god.
Yeah, I have a
Oh,
Oh
driver's
my
license. It's
god.
fine.
Okay, look, at
yeah.
least I can drive like really long distance. I really literally just like took my partner out to like dim sum like yesterday on Valentine's. Okay, at least I can drive like in a really long distance.
Like,
Well, happy Valentine's, damn.
damn. I guess,
Yeah.
yeah. I guess that's one thing that only you can experience.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
But
Look, we all is sexuals here. Like, shut the hell up.
that's great. But honestly though, I
and
don't
yet,
like long drives either. I mean I don't like long drives. I just like get understimulated and I don't like the feeling of doing nothing for like an entire hour. I'm just gonna pop open TikTok
Yeah,
while I'm at it and get
the
arrested for like
driving is
driving.
stressful. And imagine driving with the wheel on, like, not the side you're used to, because European cars in Paris.
Right. And imagine driving
right.
without a license.
Oh
Uh-huh.
my god.
That
Deimos, go
means
get a
I
fucking
can.
license.
Nuh-uh. Not now.
Oh my god.
I'd rather not. Well, anyway, that aside, right, welcome back to the fucking podcast and everything. Um, like like before, I am Deimos, your host, alongside our other hosts here, Red and UV, and we're back to talking about 3.2, a flowing feast. I was about to say a movable feast, but that's for later.
It's a bit movable, I would say that.
It is.
True.
That said, welcome
was
to another
interesting.
broadcast. It's episode 04 now. We have exited the prime
Oh, God.
numbers. How are we all feeling being back
Wow.
here after all this time? Presenting once more.
It has been eventful. Not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
It has been very eventful.
Been busy.
Yeah, we've been very busy in the background for like other things, you know, like real life things, but also some other things. It's been quite complicated.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, have we recuperated from last episode?
No.
Oh.
Not really.
Nobody has recovered. Damn.
Yeah, we're still experiencing mental damage up until now, unfortunately. Like,
Wow.
It's not just the podcast. It's not just from the last episode. It's also from like everything else on top of that in real life. So
yeah, it's quite a bit, but like, I'm getting used to like the feeling that, you know, how much lore information we were given this patch, and you know, it's slowly settling in. Like, maybe I do have to read Jung.
Oh no.
I don't think. Do I really want to recommend reading Young? Not really. You really
No.
want to read? You really want to read Freud's situationship? No.
No.
Remember, those two knew each other and they like separated at some point. I forgot why. So it's
We don't
unfortunate,
talk
but it
about
happened.
that.
We don't talk about it, but it did happen. So
Alright. Okay, Deimos, eyes on the road, and you know what? Eyes on the road, hands on the wheel.
my hands
Yeah.
are on the wheel. Come on.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's great. There's also a piece of paper in your hand, but still, anyway, we should really get on the road. We already are, but like get on the road and proceed to our destination, which is as always providing you all with the most efficient way of misinformation in your first night.
Hell
Did we
yeah.
get started?
At
Yet?
least you're
Exactly.
learning something new.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to get started? So yeah, let's get started. Of
Hell
course,
yeah,
with the
let's
one
get
that's
started.
driving. Of course, with the one that's driving
I
first.
always told you to give me the fucking steering wheel. I'm the only one here with a driving license besides Red who doesn't drive much.
You're too tiny to even hold the fucking wheel properly.
Oh
Don't.
my god. We're judging sizes now. Discrimination.
Can't believe there was a size phobic. You've heard it here, folks.
Size phobic.
But yeah.
Ah, shut up. Shut up. Let's just start.
Okay, let's just go. Here's welcome back to UV and nonsense rambling about concept art and also references. Aren't you guys miss me? Oh man. And you can see
been a
on my screen
great
right now
4
who I have
episodes.
on the front. Yeah, oh man. I'm pretty sure
dreading the
everyone
next
missed me
one.
already. Yeah.
Already dreading
No,
the
we don't
next
talk
one.
about the next one. The next one,
Mhm.
there's gonna be an entire server who wants my head on a silver platter. So I'm gonna be quick about this one.
Yeah,
You
we
want your
trust you.
death
Yeah,
quicker?
are you sure about that?
You want your death to come quicker?
Exactly. So we can be done with it quicker.
Uh-huh.
We have other people to be terrorizing. Don't you know?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, okay, so we have this scene. And I see on my screen, the presenter on today is Miss Felician Baron. So we're gonna start easy with her
Ooh,
name.
Queen.
Uh-huh.
Queen. Not more like a demon, but yeah. Okay, her name's Felician means blessing, fortune, felicity, and her last name means Baron. I feel like her last name is probably like the worst part in trying to like find what is reference to besides being an aristocrat. But you know what? It kind of matched with Adele being meaning a noble also. So I guess that's a soulmate thing. Okay, this is the most
Mhm.
easiest part. And like then the like next part probably gonna be talking about faces like, you know, the French flu, which is we can see it from here. In her character design, of course, she's gonna have that one thing that she's so obsessed over. And yeah, it does look like this is from like the 2009. By the way, this is if you remember from the previous episode, it was in Red's presentation slides on the history.
It's a very funny history.
Going through the visuals.
No.
Now for the next design visuals, I would be putting on this. This is technically Fiercine. Like this is, I know this is Bloom in I2 art, but this is technically Fiercine because you can see from her the diamond being appeared, having an appearance instead of like the white quartz. And she can also like use it in her animations too. You can see from like the style that it's not the same Coco Chanel chic style that usually Bloom goes for. This is more like a formal, elegant, classy lady, and also piercing with the tie ponytail, which she also has. I guess she just like likes tying her hair like that. So this is technically Philistine, so I'm gonna put this here for like visuals. I feel like I really like that they go, we don't know, at first we didn't know that, oh, this is supposed to be Philistine. When we see like a splash art, we just thought this was like a really classy, another look for like Bloom, yeah?
Yeah.
And then
It's
you
just
watch the
I2, you know.
story.
Yeah, it's I2,
Yeah.
and like people are gonna be
Yeah.
complaining about, oh, I like the I1 better. I like the I1 better. Why can't I display that as my splash art?
Have you not considered that this is someone else that's not Broom
Yeah.
right there.
So like,
God
I
forbid
remember
things have a
people were like
purpose.
complaining. Yeah, people were
I know,
complaining
right?
about fucking the Bloom splash shot not being good, and I was like, no, no, no. It's just you don't have the context yet to appreciate it. You need to know the context. You need to know the characters and the stories first. So now, or like the next visuals on like her character designing, the one I'm gonna be putting up is this. The parts of her clothing, they're all like on her clothing, which is gonna be you just probably like see people mentioning it being like spider webs.
Yeah, spiders.
It does look like spider
Mhm.
webs.
Or people now.
So yeah, at first I was like, her
Atu?
design, these parts are the
Atu?
reason why I thought she was Atu. I
Yeah,
thought she was an
exactly.
Atu editor. At first, when she like appeared like on the trailer, I was like, oh, are we gonna get like another Atu and whoever she's like an ex with again? And I was like, oh no. Oh no, it's worse. It's actually
It's
worse. It's
worse.
not even
That's-
Atu.
It's not that she's part of Auto. It's more so she already fucking died. She's the one who died rather than someone else, right?
Yeah, she's the ex. She's someone's ex.
Yeah.
She's the ex.
Also, like, the reason you think that immediately is because, like, doesn't, like, Verity have the exact same, like, hat style?
Yeah. It's the
Mhm.
same kind of like style for Atu employees. So you're just gonna be like, is this an Atu character question mark? But no. So like I tried to look that up on what could be like the reference for this choice of design. And I went to look like the one thing Philistine is like reference to, and that is King Louis the 14th, the
Oh,
Sun
him
King
again.
himself. Yeah, him again. I had to go look him again, and turns out, there was like, back then he had like a project, not like a project by him, but a project by a French like naturalist guy who wanted to use spiders for silk.
That's a
So,
wild concept. That would
uh,
never work.
Oh,
it's actually a real thing. There's already like a flat fabric made of spider silk already, golden silk even.
Yeah, I was being
But like
sarcastic.
it's not from like the French, but the French was the one who started, and this is the from like the journal article I went to look for the scanulation basically. I went to like look for it. It's a good thing it's only in like page 2. Otherwise, I would be in for a real pickle. I'm
How
not
many
gonna lie.
pages was it?
Uh, page 2. This one in page 2. It was in the journal article in philosophical transaction in 1683 to 1775.
I mean, the entire
Volume,
thing. I mean, the entire thing. How many pages was it?
how many pages was the entire book?
uh, uh, over 900.
Oh my. Oh.
Hey, look, no, but this only this section, only this article is just 19. Okay, only this article about using spiders for silk is just 19.
Oh,
It's
so
Uh-huh.
okay.
yeah, it's an entire article, so like I assume there's other multiple parts to it.
Yes, there's like other
Mhm.
multiple people doing research and stuff,
Other
and that's why
things.
it's like 900 something pages.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
I'm pretty sure it's like only 1,000, but you know what? We're gonna talk about that later. So, like, the idea is that the guy went and collected a bunch of egg sacs, spider egg sacs, and basically, in the same fashion as silkworms, you have to like wait for them to like grow and make like the cocoon, and you basically cook the cocoon. Like, you put it in the water, and then you spin it into like a thread or a yarn. So this is like the same idea the guy had, The article is like a lot longer than this, but I'm gonna put this here. And he eventually made a couple of gloves and stockings. And after King Louis heard, he was like so excited. He wanted to try the new clothing made of spider silk. And fortunately, he didn't like it that much because it immediately just, tore to pieces.
Oh, I thought he was allergic to
Like,
it or something.
no. It just, like, when he wore it, like, in front of, like, so many people, it just tore to pieces. So, kind of low-key humiliate him. So, yeah, rip guy. Yeah, this is what I mean when I said like 900 something pages. I went to look
Oh
for
dear.
that too. Yeah, it was in the Journal of Society of Arts, volume 35, number 1820, back in 1887. Yeah. So that's why Philistine. So that's why Philistine has like, yeah, 958 is not that bad, probably. Yeah. So like that's why Philistine has to have like designs of like spider on her clothing, because her concept has something to do with the Sun King Louis the 14th, more so his achievements. Because imagine like having like a powerful arcanist as like an advisor. Everything is gonna be in his name, even though seriously might be the one putting in the work. I'm pretty sure like in like the reverse universe, like in reverse 1999 universe, I'm pretty sure like Seriously was the one who like able to make the spider silk clothing, but like arcane critters maybe, or arcane spiders instead, because arcane exists in this world. So it's like an AU thing. I'm guessing the clothing didn't shred to pieces when worn. Okay, we're gonna be talking about like the important parts of Philistine that is not in the visuals, and that is her arcane skill, as we know. But when I like look up for it, her arcane skill is lightning. Yeah, lightning, thunder. The Princess of Lightning was her title.
Yeah, and also breaking the community tier list.
Yeah, that is true. I remember that. The fucking meta tier list. So that's the thing. I went to like look for like anything related to the technology side, the industry side, I guess is what I was looking for. The electricity industry side, and what I can find is that King Louis the 14th is more so known for being the one who made Paris into a city of light. And if we to take account that might have been Philistine assisting him as like his advisor, with her power of like electricity and lightning, she would be like responsible for lighting up the city, having Paris being named the City of Light. This is like a real thing. Back in like 1667 was when Louis the 14th ordered for every having like street lamps and having people light up the city at night. So like yeah, public lighting, which is really good. But you already seen like in the story that Philistine's family fell because of the industry Yeah,
Yeah,
the
is the introduction of actual electricity and having no
yeah,
dependence on them.
yeah. So so I have like a theory that the Baron family being like the family of like lightning, but failed because of the revolution of like the electricity and industry, might be having the role as like lamplighters, I suppose, or at
Mm,
least like responsible for King Louis' achievement in making Paris into the city of light.
yeah, because like if you're going to have that
So
project, it's going to have like a you're going to consult your family and all that. Yeah, makes sense.
yeah, pretty much. So like okay, we have like established that Philistine's arcane skill came from uh, King Louis' achievement in making Paris into the city of light. But light is not lightning, is the thing. Light is not lightning, and you have to think that okay, then why didn't the character designer or the writers have Philistine use arcane skill that are light based? Why lightning and thunder? Question. But before we can tackle that, we need to go back to this Udima.
Giraffe.
Technically, also Udima. Giraffe. Yes.
The giraffe too?
Yeah. So
The
the
giraffe in the
reason
room.
why
Oh no.
I'm putting the giraffe here is because it has something to do with the giraffe. Namely, I'm talking about Sarafa, the giraffe that was like given to France during Charles the 10th reign. Also, I'm sorry for like last time previous episode I said Louis the 10th. I thought it was like another Louis, but like no, it's actually Charles. So correcting that. So on the topic of like Ojimos for Bloom, you I already explained in the previous episode that okay, so the reason why she has like the giraffe as a Udimo because of Sarafa being important in like France history, and the story of the giraffe traveling to Paris being the inspiration for the reverse concept of Bloom being from staying in Paris and eventually travel the world from Paris. But Philistine is a little different. Philistine is a little different is that she's not based on that story. She's more so based on the popularity of Sarafa. So like here's the thing. When it came to like it didn't came to only France, it was also like other giraffes were also sent as like political gifts to England and also to I think it was Sicily also. It was also sent to China. It's the thing. So like okay, why do I
Oh
bring
my
up
god,
China?
Felician's Chinese.
No, no, no,
It's
no. Yeah.
please.
Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. I have an idea that the reason why Felician's like arcane skill being lightning and thunder instead of just light is because Blue Puck is a Chinese game company.
That's wild. I didn't know that before.
Oh,
No, no, no. That you need to let me explain that. Okay, here's a really good reason why. For the Chinese, the giraffes back in the day were the shillings. Back in like ancient China, giraffes was like sent to China as like also a gift, political gift. and people understood it as a Chilean, a mythical creature in Chinese mythology, which is this creature right here. This stubby little horse with antler.
I mean, like, to be completely
So
fair, like, if you like never saw a giraffe in your entire life, and you're like living in like a 10th century in the middle of the fields, all you know are like sheep or like pigs and all that, and all of a sudden here comes this what 20 feet
giant
long
horse.
giant with a long ass neck. Yeah, I wouldn't know how to react either.
Yeah, I would have think it's like, oh, is this a creature from the legends? What is this? Question mark. So like, it's the reason why in like Japan they still use like the kanji for giraffes for like calling the Chirin or Kirin. Because they basically call it the same thing. This is like the same thing basically. A giraffe and Chirin is the same thing, and Chirin are not known for lightning and thunder. By the way, I looked this up. In the ancient time, there's no record of like it being having like lightning and thunder powers, but it is more of a modern day thing in like games that Shirin or Kirins are like mythical creatures of lightning and thunder or storms. And that
Oh.
is because like in some parts of like the Chinese mythology, one of the son of the Dragon King is also a Chilean, and because the Dragon King is a deity that controls over the storm, lightning, and thunder, they assume that the Chilean must also have like lightning and thunder. This is more of like a symbolic in the modern days. Yeah, the symbol of the Chilean is like changed in the modern days, basically. Fitting though for
Yeah.
like the event here.
Why is it in France? I mean, like the one in the image.
Well, this is the image from Monster Hunt now.
What the hell?
It's basically Pokemon Go, but Monster Hunter.
Yeah, what
So
the hell
that's
is
why it's
going
like
on in
in
Monster
France.
Hunter?
I have no idea. It's probably fun. It's probably fun.
From
So
what I've
like,
seen, it's so fun.
yeah, it's
They
always
have
fun.
friends.
So
They have
now that we
friends in Monster
established
Hunter. That's
that,
wild.
yeah. So like now that we established that, okay, Felicien is technically the giraffe, but on the side of like her arcane skill, then we have to think about, okay, but why is she like parts of have like something similar or have in common with Sarafa and the giraffe? Besides like the game design, the character design choice being like in the context of Chinese, Japanese, is that we have something something that is explained in the events. Do you remember the subconscious thing?
Subconscious in what specific?
The remember how like when people start to like think or give meaning to symbols, it started to like grow into like a sea of subconscious to the point that it has already established itself in the sea of subconscious.
It's just like Persona 5.
Oh my god, not again.
Oh, not Persona 5. Okay, look, it's the same thing.
Yeah, I think what you're getting.
You see, it's the same thing with the giraffe, because back when the giraffe Sarafa was like sent to Paris, she immediately became like a celebrity. Like all of the art, the porcelain, the fashion is just giraffes, and they call this phenomenon giraffomania.
It's fucking
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
phenomenon where suddenly
God.
people hop on the trend of giraffes and turn everything into giraffes. And it
Uh,
became a phenomenon called giraffomania. And this is the part of why Philistine was like so prideful of like her, fame and power. Is because she's supposed to be like based on like that this part of the giraffe also is in like part of like the French history.
Yeah, this is like their 6-7 of the time.
oh,
Yeah, okay. It's more so like modern. And it's
yeah.
more
It
so like
reminds
typical
me.
in Thailand.
It reminds me of how in the Owl House specifically, right? The characters in there, the witches in there, they're fucking terrified of giraffes for some reason. And there's one scene where they were at the zoo and they saw a giraffe for the first time and were fucking terrified.
I
Oh
mean,
my
like as I
god,
said,
it's
if you've
wow.
never seen a giraffe before and like don't know giraffe, then you'd be terrified. Have you been to a zoo with a giraffe?
Yeah, I
Yes.
remember.
Yeah, have you seen how fucking tall they are?
Yeah.
It looks like a very tall deer.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
They're fucking terrifying. I don't know.
I don't
Okay,
know.
so back to like the scene. The another thing I wanted to point out that would support this idea of Philistine being also based on the Giraffomania is that we have other characters too in Rivers that has like the same idea of creating the characters. The question is that okay, look, Philistine has elements of Giraffomania.
Yeah.
And in terms of like story narrative,
Yeah.
I want you to guess the two other characters that have something similar, as in they are based on a phenomenon in like society or based on a behavior of like people, and then designed into characters in the same way Philistine is designed.
Are they NPCs too?
I want to say
No,
Vincent.
they're playable.
Oh, never mind. Fuck me
They're
then.
playable.
Fuck me, I guess.
They're playable.
Do you have a playable giraffe? No, I don't think so.
Blue.
You have a playable giraffe.
Blue.
Also,
It's not. It has nothing to do with giraffe, but it has something to do with the characters being based on a phenomenon or behavior of people. Okay, how? Okay, I'm gonna narrow this down. 6 stars.
6
stars,
stars?
pickles.
Yes. Two characters, 6 stars.
Two
Not
characters and
both.
there's 6 stars. Are they in the Are they like within this series or within like the previous one, or the previous one after
They
that?
are in global.
Okay.
They're in globe.
Kakanya. Oh wait, never mind. Salomania. Fuck. Sold.
Okay, you are so right. Yes, it's always
There
one
we
of
go.
them, but
I
I want to
talked
get
about it.
the other character too.
Yeah. I talked about Salomania a
So
few
it's
months ago.
one.
How could I forget though?
Oh.
All I remember, all I kept thinking is, either both, one or both of the characters from 2.6, like Recoleta and Aleph. Like that's where I land on, but I don't think so.
Okay. I'm gonna give you another hint. It's in Vienna art.
Still in Vienna.
Yeah, it's still Vienna, huh?
Still in Vienna, like Semmelweis?
Yes. Actually, yes. Semmelweis. Semmelweis is not based on Ignaz Semmelweis. Semmelweis is based on Semmelweis reflex, actually.
Okay, I think we get like
And now people
Salomania.
can.
What is Semmelweis reflex?
Semmelweis
Ah.
reflex is a behavior where people refuse to refuse a new knowledge or information because they are stuck with like a belief or
Confirmation bias.
a paradigm. Yeah, basically.
Like,
Hmm.
not washing your hands after delivering a baby.
Yeah,
Mhm.
basically that.
Yeah.
This is called Semmelweis reflex.
Mhm.
And that's why you can see like Semmelweis being, being presented with a new information, and the first thing she does is that, nah, that's just stupid because I believe things to be this way. And yeah, that's why her character is written like that.
Damn, bro, that's wild.
Ah.
Bella, what the fuck? Why did you choose this as your nickname? I mean, like code name.
Oh,
There's like a bit of self-awareness, and then no.
a
It's
bit of
just
self-awareness, a bit of,
yeah,
and a bit of ignorance. It's kind of funny.
it's the foundation. I'm gonna blame it on the foundation.
Salomania. I assume we three all know about this, but like, did we still explain it for our listeners?
Cellomania is
Or like you
a
could go to my video,
phenomenon
self-promoting. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Promotion, okay.
Okay. Look. It's basically the same thing as the Giraffomania. Is that it's a trend. It's basically
Mhm.
a trend where it's a phenomenon where people are so obsessed with Salome. It's just like Salome is basically everywhere. In
Yeah.
like the literature, in the plays, in the posters, everywhere is just Salome, and that's called like the phenomenon Salomania.
Yeah, that's
Nowadays,
just
it's
basically it.
a trend.
Instead of giraffe,
For
it's
me.
Salome. And it happened around about the early 20th century.
Yeah. So that was when the internet hasn't happened yet. So that's why it's called a phenomenon.
Yeah, it's
Because
called a
it's
phenomenon
more
instead
of
of a
like a
meme.
people thing.
It's as I said
Yeah.
earlier, it was the 6-7 of their time.
Yeah, basically. Okay, so now that we talked about her arcane skill being related to King Louis XIV, namely is a combination of the City of Lights and also the giraffe. And I'm gonna move on to the next one where we talk about what King Louis is also known for in his achievements, which is opera. And when we talk about opera, like when we talk about Violin and opera, what's like, what do you think when you like while playing the event? Which scene makes you think that Violin is probably an opera singer?
Well,
I keep
Glory
thinking
reclaimed
outside.
Reverse 1999 EP on the official Reverse 1999 channel that is now officially available on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, you name it.
Oh my fucking god!
The whole promotional tool.
Hey, me
It's like
Fuck, please.
it's outside of the event too. So like, it makes me think of the voice actor also, right? Because the
Yeah.
voice actor for Felician is
Okay, before we go that part, I want you to come back to
Yeah,
the
of course.
event.
It was the part
I'm
where she
asking
sang.
about the scene in the event.
yes.
Yeah.
Before you
Yeah.
go to that part, I'll give you that part for sure. But come back here first.
Uh-huh.
This is kind of
Okay,
wild, to be
which
honest. Like
scene?
it's UV pulling us back. Usually it's the opposite.
Okay. Okay, which part?
Okay, like within the story, okay.
Yes.
There's like there's only one specific part where we just have Felician singing. And like
Yes, and you're right.
yeah, there's just one.
Yeah.
Deimos, you're not allowed to answer the next question. Red,
Oh.
I want to ask you. Do
Well,
you know the song that Felician is singing in that scene?
No, I don't know French.
There's a title.
Oh wow. I'm sorry. I'm like those Oscar judges that prefer like non-English films. I can't unfortunately look at the subtitles.
God, it's in
Oh.
French.
I'm actually the
It's
person
also
who's
white
not no other
language.
choice. I mean, yeah. But yeah, I really don't. I didn't get to research it afterwards. I was too busy listening.
Okay. So I'm gonna give you a hint. Is that yes, the song has something to do with French opera, theater, something like that. But it doesn't have the lyrics. The lyrics is something Blue Hawk just made up. So
Mm-hmm.
Is it the
it's
Phantom
just
of the
something Blue
Opera?
Hawk made
Does
up.
that even take place in France?
No.
Never mind. I thought
I
Dai
thought
was like a French
I'm-
surname or something.
Oh.
So okay, look. So the music was composed by a very well-known musician, and
Did-
I want you to guess the name because the name has something to do with this event.
Is it gonna be Strauss or something?
Nah, no. It has something to do with the event. It has something to do with the game itself, Reverse 1999.
Oh my god, I can't believe the surname is Arcana.
Jesus Christ, no.
I'm not allowed to speak. I was already given this information
Oh, okay.
beforehand.
So you guys have been sharing information behind my back. How dare you?
Well, you don't
Okay,
hear
I
enough
was-
times, so.
Hey, look, I was debating whether or not I should put this in the slides because, like, is it interesting? I mean, yeah, but it's also like just this one scene.
Is it Boniche? I swear to fucking god.
No.
It's a French
Okay.
surname, right?
Okay. No. I want you to think about what happened in the event. That
Okay.
is mind blowing. It's the main dish of the event, and it has something to do with the reverse the game itself as a game.
Yeah, okay. And then what am I supposed to do with that? I'm supposed to figure out the
Guess the
name.
name. Yes.
Guess the name of
Guess
the.
the name. I'm giving you hints.
The name of the song
It's-
or the name of the composer?
The name of the song.
Oh, the
Just name
song.
of the
I
song.
thought I was looking for the name of the composer. Is it the
No,
Star
no,
Wars
no,
song
no.
shit?
If you want the name of the composer, it's the same person who did Clear the Loop.
Oh, okay. Honestly, I forgot who
Yeah.
did Clear the Loom now. Like something the
Think of
storm.
Voyager. No.
Something golden. I mean golden thread or something.
No.
No. Wait, like, the storm is related, sure, but
Yeah,
no.
sure, it's related. But Red,
Rain.
think about something that we all hate about Reverse as a game.
Reveries in the Rain.
Cut the
Hmm.
rain off. Just
Oh,
reveries.
Reveries. Okay.
Yes.
Reveries in
song
the Rain
she
was
was
supposed to be a
singing
joke.
Reveries by Debussy.
Oh,
The
okay.
Bose.
Yep. Yeah. I went to look at the pronunciation for this. And it's like, why is it Debussy? I was like, Debussy. I was like, there's so many like samples of pronunciation. I was just like, which is the right one? Goddamn.
The Bose. Most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this makes sense with how the event is related to the depths of myths. Of course, you're gonna be referencing Reverie, the song.
Oh god.
Yeah. So like, okay.
I'm sorry that took me
So
so
this
long to
is-
figure out. That's too much
No,
brain
it's
power.
okay. It took Deimos a long time to figure out. So because like it's not in the lyrics, but it's more so in the melody itself. So the only way for you to be able to tell that, oh, this is actually Reverie, is that you need to know music, and
You
that
need to
is
be a
like,
music major.
Oh god, is it?
yeah, you
It's
need to
time for like
be a
music
big
theory.
nerd for music theory. And I was
Like,
like, the way I was able to find this out is that I look at the events and I'm trying to guess like, okay, maybe it has something to do with opera because Felicine seems to be an opera singer, and also being related to Louis the 14th. So I went to look for all like the opera songs that are like by very well-known composers, but also by music composers that BP has already made reference to. So that's why I started with Claire de Lune. I went to like Debussy, and then that's how I found there's a name here, the name of the song being Reverie. And then I went to listen to it and compare it with the scene. I was like, oh, it is Reverie. Okay, good. Confirms my theory. You can probably like see like the ping pongs of my brain just like going.
the ping pongs.
Yeah, it's just like playing ping pong with Madame C. Just like how my brain's just like started to connect the dots. Like, is this what I think it is?
I like the idea of like instead of a light bulb going up in your head, instead it's just like the sound of ping pong. That satisfying.
I think it's
Something
not
like
ping
that.
pong. Ping pong is not fast enough. It's gonna be a pinball in a pinball machine.
With the alarms and everything.
Yeah, with like the lights and everything. Yeah. Basically. So when we talk about Louis XIV, he was also known as the King of Operas. He was like the one having a start of the French opera era. So to look into that, the reason why I went to look for the opera side, besides Felicine being a singer, is that I wanted to know the reason why they chose Felicine as the name. Me being the character designer, there has to be a reason for why you chose a specific thing. Because Baron is just like, noble, like a noble name. But Felicine, that feels a specific choice. Because Felicine was also like mentioned in like the conversation between Beryl and Bertin in the narrator's trails, and it's not a name that is often used, and that is true. So I went to look for any French opera singers that has something to do with Felicine or is named Felicine. And the only person I could find that is not named Felicine but has a role as Felicine in one of her opera roles, and that person is La Maupin. If you know her, you know her.
I do not.
Julie de Albini. Yeah, I'm butchering the name. Or La Maupin. Is known a lot by, gay nerds.
Okay, no, never mind.
Because
I do know now. Yeah. I
you
wasn't
do know
familiar.
now.
Yeah, I wasn't familiar with the Moppin, but I'm more familiar with her other like surname.
Yeah, it's her full name, more like most because I cannot pronounce her name. I'm gonna call her La Maupin. So yes, La Maupin, as like a lot of people may have known, is a French opera singer who has quite the shenanigan of dueling men and making out with other women, and also killing like at least 3 men in the duel. That is not illegal, by the way. Because back in the day, if you lose a duel, you die.
I remember now. Yeah.
Yeah,
remember.
they're
Yeah.
like a dual type shit is kind of insane back then.
Yeah, so like we mostly known in the history, she's known for cross-dressing as a man and basically making out with women left and right, and also committing a bunch of crimes, which is like, oh man, it was interesting to read about her. I have read about
Icon.
her before. I think it was like
Mhm.
back in Tumblr. I've read about her before. Yeah. So like, since she is also like a pioneer for operatic, vocal singing in the French opera world, I went to like look for like her roles, and she does have a role in one of them being Felicity in the say Telemachus by Kempra. And you can see that I also highlighted her other roles too, because all of her other roles have been the Priestess of Sun and the Priestess of Flora. This might be the reason why she is titled the Priestess of Lightning, because technically she is the Priestess of the Sun King,
Yeah, in
but with
conjunction
lightning
with Sun
powers.
King.
Yeah, the Priestess of Flora is probably Bloom, with how many flowers she has in her hair. You can also see the names of Saint too.
Mm.
I
Oh
put this here
god,
just in case.
I just had a flashback to like last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm giving you free brain worms. It's free. Okay. So like another interesting about Lamopin is that he is also known to be committing crimes. So
Yeah,
the part that I want to talk about in Philippines character story, well, character writing, is that you can actually cross-reference the list of crimes Lamopin committed and connect them to Philippines, because it's basically the same thing.
what do you mean?
We're gonna talk about her crimes
Oh.
today.
Going
I
to the
want,
villains.
Your Honor, I want to highlight this section of my client's crime list.
Your client is Philippine?
I wish it would be fucking interesting, honestly.
That would be really
Honestly, you would be
funny.
so rich. You would be so rich though.
Yeah, like regardless of whatever
Amazing.
verdict I get money anyway. It's fine.
True.
Choose
So,
book.
okay. We're gonna start off with something easy, and that is the crime that she committed while cross-dressing as a man is kidnapping and body snatching.
Yeah,
Which
that's
she
something
did.
easy.
The evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, something easy, something apparent.
Uh-huh.
You know,
And,
sometimes you
yeah,
jaywalk,
so-
sometimes you kidnap someone and body snatch it.
Yeah, so like body snatching, but in another meaning. Back in the day, body snatching is more like you dig up someone's grave and you steal the body.
And then you
That
sell it
was
off
what
to a
she
medical
did.
institution for science.
Somehow
No.
that's more for the next ones. Somehow.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the
so,
next ones
like,
are murder.
Ah.
Yeah. No, murder is not what she's like being tried for. She actually won the duels fair and square, so
Oh,
they
so we
can't
have
really,
an ethical killer.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Good for her.
okay, so the other one, the other list of crimes that you can connect is arson,
Oh, good.
and also, after being like, put on a wanted poster, they have to like give her like a choice that, okay, if you don't appear for the trial, you have to be sentenced to death by burning, which is very John the Arc, just like Bloom over there. Look at Adele.
Look at our
Yeah.
Jean d'Arc.
Yeah, we're gonna be John the Arcing again.
Isn't this also like self-immolation, technically.
Well,
Technically,
yeah.
self-immolation.
OMG, Queen, don't hurt yourself.
Oh my god. Okay, look. I think it's really interesting that with how Adele having like elements of genre arc and also Fiercine having elements of Lamorphin, and them being both burned to death. Well, no, Lamorphin didn't get burned to death. She just like has a choice. Either
She
get
wants
on
to, you know.
trial and not be burned to death, or like just burn. And they just put this in like the story writing, and I think that's really interesting. I appreciate the attention to details and also the creativity into making them. Now we can now close this and we can talk about this one.
Oh, no more crimes?
But I guess
Okay.
No more
no.
crimes?
Oh, we're done with war crimes. No more crimes. We're done with war crimes for now.
We're done with
For now.
crimes.
So here's Fiercine in her boss form. I want to talk about her boss form. It's like her boss form is more so with the concept of the movable piece itself, the flowing piece, because the concept of it is like Paris is like a movable piece. Yes.
Mhm.
So for
When I look at Paris, I
Adele
go
to
think
be able
movable.
to overcome. Yeah. Well, no, it's more like for Adele to be able to overcome the Paris that is in her head that's been stopping her from leaving. Like, look, fucking Fiercine has an entire dialogue of telling Adele that you think you can leave me? How dare you? Like, entire spiel of just like telling Adele to stay with her or surrender to her. Or surrender her body to her, I guess.
How gay.
And that is okay, look, I know it's fucking gay as shit. But also kinda crazy. So that's why they have to make the boss something French, something Paris, something France. And there's nothing more France than fighting the Eiffel Tower blowing a French horn.
Oh, that's a French horn. Funny.
That's how French it is.
Yeah, how French it is. Yes, with like a fucking accordion in the back or something, maybe. That would be so French. But yeah, you can see like the musical parts. I'm assuming that either has something to do with reveries, like the depths of myth itself, or it has something to do with the scene having like elements of opera singing. Which, yeah, this makes sense for like her design to be like this. And also I really like how like the entrance of her boss is just at first you thought she rises up from the ground. No, she actually rises up from the sky. And it's just like, oh, that is so interesting actually.
It's a great boss entrance. One of the best, honestly. The only other one that I could think of that is like really good as well is the 2.5, the separated swallows.
Oh, true.
That is true. It's like
really good.
Very interesting because like you can see like the art being surrealism already, like from the sharp edges and also the simple coloring, the saturation. Also like you choosing the same color palette most surrealistic artists would use, like yellow and like orange has been used a lot for like Dali art also. And I thought that was like, oh, this was really interesting. Okay, so we have done the Philistine part. All right, you know what? Pat yourself on the back. This is the easy part.
What the fuck?
The easy part.
Pat yourself on the back because this is the easier part.
Oh, this is the easier
just,
part. I thought you said that that Felician was the easy part. Okay. Okay, that's a sigh of relief. Thank God.
Okay, look. Okay. Now, You can see I'm closing some of the toolbars off because we can need some space. We're gonna need some space in doing all this. You know.
Oh.
Are we supposed to pick a
Yeah.
seat?
Yes, we will be taking seats. Well, not
Okay.
now because you two will be giving assignments as the director for casting actors for the play we will be playing. A play by William Shakespeare. You know the guy. Everyone knows this guy.
Yeah, I think I know the guy. I
Uh-huh.
met him like last year.
Yes, and this will be
Yeah.
your actors. This will be your choice of actors.
Mm-hmm.
All 6 of them.
Oh,
Well,
And the
6.
play.
hmm.
Yes, 6.
Do you want to
All 6
address
of
the
them.
giraffe in the room?
Well, the last person is a little late, so we gotta have to wait for them. You
Okay,
know?
A little
okay.
late. Okay.
Don't
Okay.
worry, we
Okay.
put them in like the last of the queue. It's okay. We can cast the others first, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And okay, the play will be a play is As You Like It by William Shakespeare, and these are the roles that I want you to match with the characters, and I want you to explain to me why is this an okay match or like a reasonable match.
I have not read
Mhm.
As You Like It. Celia for Celia. I call
You
tips
can
on that.
open
Okay.
up. Look. Okay, look, open up. I'm allowing you to open up Wikipedia on As You Like It.
Oh my God! Hold
Uh,
on.
I have it. I have it open now.
Yeah, I want you to look up the Wikipedia
As You Like It
on
comedy Shakespeare in
characters.
full Western, and it's
Mhm.
free on YouTube. 1 hour and 42 minutes.
Do
I
we
think
really
this
want to
one's
spend
gay.
another hour?
No. But okay, how about we just go with it and do the easiest part first? Yeah?
Celia.
Yeah.
Yeah, the easiest part is Celia. Celia being based on Celia in As You Like It is very on the nose. Exactly on the nose.
Mm-hmm.
But the qualities that they put in Celia, the character in our game, is that she really, really loves her cousin. Like, for real. And this is, I'm gonna put in some of the,
Their
this
own
is
fees.
Celia. It's the character, and this is, yes. This is entire wiki. Like, in her wiki, is that she has an entire section that says she really loves her cousin Rosalind. Rosalind is the protagonist. And yeah, you can see that in like the writing that, okay, yeah, they're like kind of more like sisters than they are like cousins.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like, it was like, I went to watch the play, by the way. I went to watch the play.
Live.
And the first thing, yes, I went to watch
Really?
As You Like It.
Oh my God.
And
Oh.
in the first scene, Celia was introduced. She basically just tells the entire audience how much she loves her sister, basically cousin, but yeah. And now you go back to the character, which I also put it from here. Celia is silent and reserved. She's more conventional than Rosalind, and hence more worldly and prudent. But silent is in contrast to Rosalind's talkative nature. However, Celia, by her prudence, commands over herself as well as over others. When the two cousins are alone, Celia is full of life and humor, but in the presence of others, she is content to play as the part of the spectator. So yeah, this is gonna be the reason why Celia is written like Celia. Celia is written like that.
All right.
It makes sense. But now that we know Celia, we can now pinpoint Rosalind.
Yeah, I think it's rather obvious.
her
Rosalind
cousin.
should be Russell.
Shut
Yeah.
up. What is it you and Russell?
I'm going for matching
Okay.
names.
Okay,
Mhm.
last name. Okay, we have Rosalind, but also Ganymede. If anyone who does not know the story of As You Like It, is basically Rosalind, the protagonist, cross-dressing as a man named Ganymede, and also Celia, who's her cousin, disguising herself as Ganymede's sister, while they were banished or like flee to the forest. And it has like a theme where a lot of the theme of the entire play is so interesting, is that everyone is pretending to be someone. Basically,
Yeah,
it's
that
Oh,
it's
so
like
it's
this event.
So like everyone's lying.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it really. So when we talk about Ganymede, what do we think?
I think of the moon.
Okay, good choice. You know
Also the moon.
Ganymede as like Greek mythology?
Yeah, I assume that's where the name
Mythology?
for the moon comes from.
Yes. Do you know
Alright, that was a-
the myth? So.
No, unfortunately.
I know he's a hero, yes, but like not as much into the story.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you what. Since both of you not know, other people, the viewers and the listener might know, Ganymede is mostly widely known for as Zeus' favorite pretty boy. He's known for being pegged by Zeus, the god of lightning and thunder.
Oh,
So
Should I be censoring
Yeah,
that during
I
editing?
know. No, we don't have to. It's basically Greek art. You don't have to censor that.
Okay.
Technically.
okay.
So like,
Do we have to?
yes. Do we have to like point? No, do we have to point out who's supposed to be Zeus in this context?
Hawk Tour.
No, I think it's kind of I think it's kind of obvious, kind of anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of
know.
obvious because there's like only one person right now with the most powerful arcane skill of like lightning and thunder, and it's just like I can't believe they just purified the yaois. They purified the ancient yaoi.
Yeah.
Like the thing about like Ganymede and Zeus is that of course Zeus abducted the guy, kidnapped him, pegged him, and also made him immortal by making him his favorite cupbearer. His entire job is just to hold those wine cup.
That's wild.
So, yeah, it's basically being Zeus lackey. Adele, your entire system is to be Zeus lackey.
Well.
It's just also, yeah, so like I'm gonna put this here also. Like you'll be like asking like, okay, this is the reason why I put like Rosalind and Ganymede, is that other than Adele being Rosalind and also Ganymede, is that Philistine is also considered to be Rosalind because of one character, their fictional character based on La Maupin herself, written by Théophile Gautier, Mademoiselle de Maupin, which in the novel she has like a part in play as Theodore playing Rosalind playing Ganymede, which mirrors the crossing of hero. Yeah, but the book is banned in New York, so because because the guy was too woke for his time, unfortunately. So that's why. So now that we know that, okay, the Muffin is also has relation to this part of the stage as Rosalind also. So yes, this is also y'all sharing the body. So I'm gonna put you
Yeah.
here.
So like there's an uneven number now.
Mm-hmm.
This is an even number now. Yes. You see, here's the thing about the story in As You Like It. The
Mm-hmm.
relationship of like Rosalind and her love interest, her lover Orlando,
Yeah.
is that all this time she has been meeting and talking to Orlando as Ganymede.
Mm-hmm.
This is a
Oh.
Mulan situation right here. So with how things went is that Orlando actually had fallen in love with Rosalind and wanted to know how
No,
to court her.
Rosalind as like Ganymede or nah?
The Rosalind as like the women,
Oh.
but because he wasn't educated as like a nobleman by his brother, he doesn't know how to like court Rosalind, the women. And
Mm.
Rosalind, who's disguised as Ganymede, went to like offer to teach him how to talk to women, how to like
Oh,
talk
that's
to
wild.
Rosalind.
Oh.
I was like, wow.
That's wild. You know, I'm gonna say something. Um, it's gonna kill some people. This reminds me of Miraculous Ladybug.
You know what?
I'm gonna
Look, it's
leave the
Miraculous
room.
Ladybug is probably based on As You Like It. Right?
I'm gonna leave the room right now, actually. Yeah.
Okay, so like the part where Rosalind as Ganymede tried to like she basically told Orlando like, okay, just imagine me as Rosalind and basically learn how to express many emotions and how to like see flaws and understand flaws in people, including like herself, because Orlando is very proud, arrogantly so.
Uh-huh.
Rosalind basically had to like knock him down a peg. This is what happens. Is that I'm guessing someone who is very proud and needs to be teach how to be humbled. Okay, pause. Hey, this is UV from another timeline, here to add a bit of an explanation on why Felician plays the role of Orlando. You see, in the play, the reason why Orlando fell in love with Rosalind is because she gave him a necklace before his exile. With reverse having the concept in reverse, we instead have Adele fight to the death with Felician for the necklace. That is all. Now back to the present. This is such a weird choice of like casting actors, but you know what?
Yeah.
Usually one actor plays many roles. That's actually very normal.
Yeah.
Speaking as a theater kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, like mixing. Taking a little characters like personalities and then mixing it up with your own, like pretty normal, you know.
Yeah, true. So now
I think I just realized who our question mark is.
Really? You do?
Yeah, I think I do realize it. I'm going to type it out over at the chat. I'm not going to send it just yet, but in the very case that it does happen, you know, just in case. But I think I know. Yeah, I'm scared.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
It's just like
2 more rolls.
2 more rolls.
oh my god, 2 more roles and 3 more actors. All right. So now we have 2 characters left. I want to say that the reason how I got to the point of like being able to pinpoint that 3.2 is based on As You Like It by William Shakespeare is actually not because of Syria. believe it or not, it's actually not because of Celia. It's actually because of Rosso. And because
Yeah.
Rosso is playing as a character in As You Like It who's very much known for like one thing in like his role as a character, and that is Jax. Jax is known for one thing, and it's this one quote: "All the world's a
Ah,
stage, and all the men and women merely players.
Yeah.
They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. His acts being 7 ages." And this is basically that one scene, if you can guess.
yeah.
Mm,
It is.
yeah.
Is when he start having extreme hysteria and start seeing the world as it is, the actual world beyond the stage. It's like, yes, clearly now the world is a stage, a performance with no script, and we have arrived at the moment when the curtain must fall and the scene must shift. The changes to the mass hysteria. Yes, it's all about obvious now. They were born from the collective subconscious. We are mere actors on this stage. For the material world is nothing but a projection of the mind. Their dialogues are but borrowed lines from ancient scripts. Their passion, their love for life, and oblivious repetition
Repetition.
of same narratives. The play has no script yet tells the same story. That this material is nothing more than a flicker on a cave wall. We're going back to Peron.
Yeah, it's like a
Mm.
they fitted like as many like allegories into this as possible. Of course, there's the allegory of the cave, and there's also the Laplace demon concept in there, and
Yeah.
now Shakespeare.
Yeah, so this is more so in relation to the uh, universe as a whole, the reverse universe as a whole, because Rosso is not the only one who has seen beyond the stage. There are other people too, and we have playable characters. A certain playable character from a certain game mode who has seen beyond the stage and see the fourth wall. You can probably guess who it is.
Door.
Okay.
Oh,
Can be.
what
We
the-
don't know much about Door.
There's also Lorelai.
Yeah, Lorelai is one of them. Lorelai
Uh,
is one of them for her voice line in the lobby, where she can see us, the players, and sees like us as Burton, seeing the lobby screen as a dollhouse instead. So technically, Lorelai can see break the fourth wall. And what happened to Rousseau is basically being able to see beyond the stage that is the script in the game. We are metagaming right now.
oh god. We're back in the fucking building again.
We're back in the building again. Of course, we're gonna be back in the building.
And then we get
So,
no
I'm not
5-star
gonna-
content for the rest of the year.
True.
Mm-hmm.
So like, this is more so has something to do with the reason why they chose As You Like It for 3.2. The point of like As You Like It is that it's about actors on a stage. It's about the people acting on the stage, but also acting the characters that is acting on the stage again. Because we have like Celia disguising and pretending to be Ganymede's sister, and we have Rosalind pretending to be Ganymede, and we have like Orlando who has yet to find like himself and has to like be someone else broke enemy, so he can like learn how to like express emotion in like perfect and flawed way. And it's basically interesting. Like if you like look in if you have watched As You Like It, you will know there are other characters that isn't Jack's touchstone. The jester can also break the fourth wall and talk to the audience, by the way. Like there are like characters who can like break the fourth wall and talk to like the audience and such. And we have like the last one being Burial, being Hymen. Hymen is the god of marriage. And being the god of marriage, this has something to do with the previous episode where I explained that the Sequana part in burial design that has something to do with Louis the 14th came from the lyrical poem that was composed for the marriage between Louis the 14th and Maria Theresa of Spain. It's for that, but it's also for a cutscene that happened in the game. Can you guess?
Oh, it's like the consummating
yeah.
of the thing where she pulls Felician over to the pendant and all that.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It's basically the cutscene where she put Felicine into the quartz and along with the French blue, and it ends with Burial congratulating them both and hope they're both satisfied.
I hope you guys are happy with your marriage, in life and in death.
In their life and death too.
This is how soulmates gonna happen. We just need Burial to officiate it. So that is Burial playing her role as the god of marriage. And we have the last character. Woo,
Okay.
wow.
Oh god. Okay. Just say when you're going to release it.
Put them? Okay.
Okay.
So the reason why I put them on like question marks is that this is a secret character, okay? This is a secret character that you didn't expect them to be here. You didn't expect them to be here at all.
Okay, I might be wrong. Okay.
But they exist in the event. They are needed in the event. They are needed in the play As You Like It.
Okay.
Because without this character, the play would not work like what it's trying to say.
Deimos, would you like to place your bet as well?
You want to place bets now?
I mean, looking at our main characters here, like we have the Duke and like the court fool, or at least their name is Touchstone. Like
I mean, just keep it in your head. Just don't say it until we react and all that.
Yeah. So like I want something what I want to say as before is that what do you think is their role that is so important to the play As You Like It? And they are a character that did appear in the event. I'm really like giving you a lot of hints here.
Yeah.
Arcana question mark.
No.
Okay, that was supposed to be my guess, and it's supposed to be Erd then.
No. Also not Erd.
Okay, well I guess I'll die.
Surprising.
It's gonna be Verdun.
Oh, so why is it Verdun?
Golden Thread. It's between one of those three, honestly.
No. It's just like
it's not.
But why? Where would you put Verdun? If this piece is Verdun, where would you put Verdun?
I mean, if she's because of her role as the timekeeper, right? And she's the one that's observing the storm or everything unfold, then
No,
you'd
the
make her
audience.
somewhat, yeah.
The,
You'd,
yeah,
It in the audience?
yeah.
Yeah?
mm,
All right.
yeah.
It's kind of rude. She has a name, you know.
All right.
Uh-huh.
You're right. And you are actually right. Because the reason for this to happen is because the play as you like it needs fourth wall breaking. At the end of the play, the actors will start talking to the audience. Rosalind most likely, even though before this, the audience were already participating and having the actors on the stage touchstone talking to the audience themselves. The point of 3.2 is that it's a play. It's a stage play because when you read the narrative of the story, a lot of times they mention, "Oh, the curtain is falling, the play is moving forward," something like that. Because the entire point of 3.2 is that everything here is a stage, and someone managed to break the fourth wall, and that would be Jax. And for Burton, being the audience, more so not like Burton, but also the timekeeper in general, because this also includes us. This event cannot be complete without a player. Basically, this event cannot be complete if there is no audience watching the story and advancing the story. So that's why I think 3.2 is written in a really interesting way.
Yeah, and like, what a
But it
story to
needs-
like take advantage of, especially now that we have our first known narrator.
Mm.
Yeah, we have a playable
Yeah.
narrator now.
Instead of Jacques or Rousseau being the one communicating directly to the audience, it's Beryl / the Hyman talking
To be fair, Hyman is
to
like
the
a god.
audience.
This,
True,
Yeah,
true.
you see, the thing about Hyman is more like a plot device in the play, because before this, there were like priests around the wandering the forest, and they can just go and ask the priest to marry the couples. But no, the writers had to send down the god of marriage themselves to marry all these 8 people, 4 couples. And it's just like, okay.
when your head is so disastrous, the god has to step in.
Yeah,
Real.
it's basically like, and it also know itself as like the god also know itself as like the plot device, is what I'm saying. It's really interesting. By the way, I went to check the play, right? And the scene where the script for like Hymen, the god of marriage, does have like resemblance to the dialogue when the cutscene of like Burial putting Philistine into like the crystal. It has something to do with crown of Juno. Juno in Roman equivalent of
It was Hera.
it was Hera. In the crown of Hera, you know what? That makes sense. Look at Philistine. Philistine is like very Hera coded. Every time Adele has like, I don't know, talks a what do you call it, praise? Yeah. When every time Adele praises other women that isn't her, she gets so fucking upset. It's kind of funny.
Mm.
Yeah, so yes, this is the stage, the entire stage, and you can see like such an interesting way of casting characters. We have 15 being based on Lamar Pintu, but based on like specifically the fictional character in a novel based on a historical a character. By the way, Hyman also has like a myth of like disguising himself as a woman. So we have a guy disguising himself as a woman. We have a woman disguising herself as a man, and we have Celia disguising herself as a sister. So we have all of these people disguising themselves, and then there's like football breaker over here, and then the most important part, the audience. Yeah. So this is, oh man, this is what I said is a lot to read, especially the parts where like you have to like find reference on, otherwise I wouldn't be able to like put my foot down and like say it in like full confidence that, oh, this is reference to this. It's just like, oh man, that's a lot. So like, okay, what do you think of this explanation presentation?
This little experiment is really silly. It's just really silly.
Okay, now
It's
we're
very
actually going to
silly.
play out the entire play, and then we're trying to voice act them as the characters. So, does that sound good?
Oh my god, no. My god, no. By the way, this is a D&D map, by the way. I went to like download a D&D map and use it for
Yeah, I assume
this
so. Like, it
presentation.
was giving like, is this D&D? You know, with this, it didn't
It
help
kinda
that like
is.
the icons were circular. Did you also use a D&D token maker here?
Oh my
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I fucking knew it. I know those outlines from
Okay.
somewhere.
Okay, look. At first, I was going to use like a D20. At first, I was going to use a D20, but then I was like trying to use it, and I just forgot how to use D20.
It's alright.
So I was
Anyway,
like, you know
roll
what?
for roll
we
for
go back.
initiative.
We
Oh
go
my
to the
god,
basics.
no.
We go back to the
No,
basics and
no.
use like papers and stickers. Let's go.
And to think, like a few days ago, like not days ago, like weeks ago, I said, would you guys be fine if we suddenly had an impromptu session of D&D during one of these?
Don't worry, I'm gonna speed run before you. I'm gonna try it before you.
We'll just keep trying.
Yeah.
Okay, welcome back to me mostly talking about reverse lore, but this one is a bit shorter this time because I needed to do like there is not much that I can say about like this part without being worried that I might sound disrespectful about this little segment. But yeah, well,
That's immediately cause for
quickly.
concern. I'm sorry.
What does that
No,
mean?
no. It just means I'm paranoid. Okay, I'm not.
Okay,
The way that I wrote everything, there's nothing bad. I'm just paranoid
Oh, okay.
about how I'm gonna work
I mean,
this.
I
it's
was
probably
really
not that
scared that like.
bad. Look. It's probably not as bad as what I have for 3.3.
Sure.
Hey, to be fair, at least it's bad in a good way. I said this in a more paranoid / bad way, though. But
Yeah,
you know,
you're going to insult like the divination culture or something, and you get like hexed by a witch.
I get hexed by every witch I know. Yeah, that checks out so much. But yeah, we'll start. Yes, we'll be talking about divination mediums in reverse, but the reason why, besides like the other obvious topics, is because I think everyone needs a refresher on how divination specifically works and how it technically applied in the context of uh, reverse 1999 universe. So yeah, let's just go here. Divination is defined as the historic practice to identify hidden significance or cause of events and attempt to foretell the future through magic mediums and rituals. This practice is common yet significant in Reverse 1999, where various playable characters in it take various means of divination to be able to interpret meanings behind various inquiries. In um, addition, with fate itself or herself playing an important role in the overall narrative, divination makes for an interesting player as many characters in it use it for various purposes. Now, the thing with divination is that there's a lot of mediums. It's like such a broad thing to go off of. So the way that it exactly works generally varies from every other medium. So as a result, when you ask how it works, every other person will say like something different, and it's not any different here in reverse, where you have to kind of recontextualize the context of how divination works because there's another factor into play. Um, because divination in reverse exists as something tangible yet something grounded to its real equivalent, you have to simply first recontextualize the practice in the arcanist's lens. The primary factor to understanding how divination and, of course, arcane skills work is first understanding the nature of Gnosis. Gnosis being, yeah, remember Gnosis? Everyone forgets about it, but it fucking exists.
We got explained to it like twice. I still don't know how people not understand it.
Yeah, it took a while for me to understand, but after reading like some parts of it, then yeah, it really clicked for me. Oh my god, I should have reread the story when I had the time. But yeah, Gnosis being the primary system of knowledge for arcanists has two def- definite features. First, it cannot be verified by a third party, and it cannot be comprehended through human reasoning. Now, for a long time, like I said, this factor has been generally overlooked because it's something that it's like a piece of information that just comes in passing. However, understanding Gnosis specifically is important here because divination in reverse falls exactly within the criteria of Gnosis. Divination is still a practice that is largely subjective, and there is no definitive answer to what vision various diviners perceive. So even if they draw similar conclusions, the problem lies in how the vision itself is interpreted. As said by Matilda in The Star, Gnosis stands as something unique and lacks universal universality. I think that's the word.
Yeah.
I think that's the word.
Yeah.
But yeah, Matilda essentially explains how divination works in her like little example, where two human researchers will test like a very specific law that's backed by human reasoning in two different places at the same time, and if it goes perfectly, they will reach the same conclusion. However, if two diviners specifically perform divination on the same thing, they will see completely different visions. Um, and these visions are vague, they're meant to be like something to be interpreted. So as a result, even if the diviners can draw like the same conclusion from their vision, it's still the vision itself that remains different because they're gonna have to interpret it differently anyway. So what she adds is important. In other words, even if someone finds out a reason for the storm through divination, they can't have other diviners verify it because 100 different diviners will give out 100 different conclusions. Moreover, Matilda also states that divination doesn't provide knowledge. Diviners cannot gain knowledge from something that they've never learned from. That is particularly why even like a good diviner like Beryl cannot foresee past the storm because she doesn't know what's what's coming next. It's not there. The feature is not there. She doesn't know, so she doesn't know the nature of the storm either. So of course she's not gonna be able to see past it. And that's why, if I'm not wrong, one of the NPCs died in the beginning of 2.2 because she saw too much and overexerted herself. But yeah, but now that we have Gnosis aside and everything, we can get to the mediums. And like I said earlier, there are way too many mediums for me to read about. I did not want to read them at all at this point, so I just narrowed it down to like significant characters and the significant mediums of divination that we see in the game throughout like the entire story, throughout since the beginning to right now. Um, there are various characters that practice divination, and their skill levels vary based on what they're capable of foreseeing. As they do various practices, they can be narrowed down into different categories. Nothing much of it can be exactly explained properly given time, so I'll just make most of what I can write about, I guess. So let's start with the most obvious one. We have lithomancy, which is defined as the usage of crystals to practice divination. Each crystal holds various meanings, resonating with equally various people. And since crystals are significant in spiritualism, they're also used as a medium for everyday people as a means for spiritual protection. And among the practitioners that do use lithomancy, we have Beryl, Madame Ramon, and Matilda. It's not on screen, but Matilda does use crystal divination in the story. I just forgot which
I mean, she has a
scene.
crystal ball.
It's a crystal. No, it's not just the crystal ball is like the category after this, but
Oh, you mean the topaz?
yeah, the topaz and shit. Yeah, 1.3, then chapter 4. I remember that at least. But yeah, moving on. The reason why I had to specify lithomancy is because of how significant it is in comparison to like every other medium. So I had to just specifically clarify that. But moving on, we have scrying, where we used different reflective mediums like crystal balls, water, mirrors, etc. to practice divination. It's often used to gain a sense of direction in the game's narrative while also providing insight to what is. And there are a lot of practitioners in this specific regard. So we have Beryl, Raymond, Matilda, Yenese, even Yenese, who uses water divination specifically, and Mercuria, who is more of a fortune teller than a diviner actually, because she does like a lot of divination practices, but more for fortune telling use.
Okay, so like, what's the difference between like a diviner and a fortune teller?
If I'm not mistaken from what I've read, a diviner is more so, is more specific. They're more committed to like the practice, while fortune telling is mostly like everyday practice. It's for
Like
just
doing for the job or
they're just doing it just because they can. But these two definitions tend to intersect a lot, so yeah, at least there's a good line of where to draw between those two terms. But
is
anyway,
it like being like a wizard and a magician?
kinda. Kinda.
I know the D&D players
It's
gonna
like
kill me, but like
uh-huh. There were a lot of wasn't there like a whole guide on how to differentiate different like
yes. There's a
classes and shit,
difference
yeah.
between a magician, a wizard, and a sorceress or sorcerer.
Yeah, that makes sense. Moving on, we do have the next one, which is the pendulum, which a pendulum is used as a medium to divine answers, usually used to ask a yes or no questions. But in Beryl's particular case, she mostly uses it as a medium in connection to her lithiumancy. I misspelled that in the slide, but yeah. Um, because if I'm not wrong, the pendulum she uses is also made of crystal, so it's for her general medium too.
Doesn't Matilda also
Hmm?
has like a pendulum in the event?
And I think Matilda has.
A
She
topaz
used it
pendulum.
on. Yeah, she only used it in 1.3 and 2.0, right? But she never
Yeah,
used it in
it
any
is the
other
crystal
case.
pendulum in 1.3.
Okay, she doesn't use it in the other events. It's because that pendulum is only exclusive to that skin. Okay, it's only exclusive to that one round, and they didn't make
It's
the
exclusive.
rigging for the default Matilda. That's why.
I mean, you could just
She
simply
uses
reason
the
that she
crystal
keeps it in her
ball.
pocket, you know, it's fine.
Yeah, it makes sense. She just uses the crystal ball by default because it's easier for her. It's the one she grew up with, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, like I said, the known practitioners, Meryl and Mercurio. I am still surprised that Mercurio's pendulum specifically is a disco ball. It's kind of silly to look
God
at it.
forbid a girl
It's a
have some
medium if you
fashion.
have faith. I think it's a medium if you have enough faith.
True, true. She does talk about it in a very pleased way. I did read like her interview with Pandora.
Oh yeah.
Also like the IM description. She talks about it in like in a really nice way, for lack of
She
better
really
word.
likes it. I think I
Really
remember
likes it.
like reading
She
about
likes
it.
she likes the orb. She likes the
Yeah, she
mini
likes
orb.
the keychain, so she
Yeah.
like I'm gonna use it as a pendulum because I really like it. This is the vibe.
Yeah, like
This
it
is
makes me just think
yeah.
about like what other things might be like a scrying material or like I mean like divination material. Like if a disco ball in a keychain could be divination material. Could that mean like a labubu?
Maybe. So like for me, for me who does like fortune telling sometimes when I have to, I also have like
What do you
materials
mean?
that are not considered a divination type of like object, but it's more so personal to me because this object carries energy to me. As like think of it like a lucky coin or like a dice from your old like game box, your own like what do you call it, tabletop game or something. Like that's just like your lucky dice or something,
Hmm.
and that carries energy in itself, and that's why sometimes items that use for like divination, the medium, it's really different for like each people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's more dependent on the person wielding the power, basically, kind of.
All right, you heard it
Mhm.
here from a fortune teller herself. You can use a labubu.
I am not a fortune teller.
That being said, I was about to say like, what do you mean when you have to?
Because sometimes people ask questions, you know?
Okay, but
Didn't we
you
also
made
do
it
like
sound more menacing, like when I have to, you know. Sometimes the fortune telling
Because
cartel
I
comes
don't.
into my house and forces me to do fortune telling.
Okay, usually I don't. Usually I don't. And you know why? Because they must you already know why. Because that
we
one last time, it was bad timing.
mm, yeah. There were two instances of bad timing, and one of them was like really recent.
Yeah.
Uh, we'll probably explain it later after this, but yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, moving
If we don't
forward.
forget about it.
Moving forward, right? We'll get into clairvoyance, which is the ability to gain information from something beyond the six senses. It occurs rarely among various characters, but it comes really frequently with Beryl because of her arcane skill. But yeah, non-practitioners, we have Beryl and August. There's a good reason why I put August here. It's like the one thing I remember about him.
It's kind
Um,
of rude to say to a child.
okay. If I'm not wrong, back in 1.8, there was like one specific scene of August talking about like the storm, but in a very vague way. But when you
Can
really
we
pay
add
attention
Lorelai?
to
Can we add
can we
Lorelai
add
to this?
Lorelai? Can we really add Lorelai? I'm not really sure. I
Oh, come
cannot.
on, she literally just like told us like, oh, there's gonna be a flood, and that was like back in Vienna chapter. We don't even know about chapter 10.
But like the context of Lorelai's words are also just as important, but at the same time,
Yeah, but like at the
I'll
same
consider
time,
I mean,
it.
understandable. She's being experimented on.
yeah, you don't know whether she's
Yeah.
actually seeing the future, or like whether she
she's
simply
having hysteria.
knows the details of the Manus' plans and the degree by which they can take advantage of the storm in order to create a flood.
Mhm.
I mean, we don't really know if she's like raised by Manus or not.
But she is at least
Then
like
again,
what do you call that again? But she is at the very least aware of the inner workings enough of the storm to, you know, at
Yeah.
least
In a
warrant
weird
some
way.
thought
Mhm.
of the flood.
Mhm. It's like she made an implication rather than something she divined.
Yeah, it's
Kinda
an
to me.
implication of the prediction.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She's trying to
Yeah.
like describe things to us, but like in her own way. Which, you know, she's 16, you know, she's a kid.
She,
This is
that's a child.
at most what she's gonna understand from what she's seeing right now.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah. Moving forward. The next one is astrology, which is practicing divination through reading the alignments of the planets and the constellations. Or in other words, you read your fucking zodiac. Read your fucking
Mhm.
zodiac today. And anyway,
Oh my god.
oh, it's known.
Opening up my
It's known.
magazine.
Open up your local fucking newspaper just to get
Yeah.
what reading you
Do
got.
people read newspaper? No.
Sometimes I have to for school, but you know,
Oh.
cut that out, please. Cut that out. Cut that out.
Remind
cut that
me,
out.
remind me when I'm editing.
Yeah, I'll probably forget about it too. But anyway, yeah, numerology. Wait, why did I say that? Anyway, yeah, its non-practitioners are Kaalabana, Kumar, and Mercuria. I still feel bad for Kaalabana. I still feel bad after all this time. Isn't it almost been like 20
years.
patches since?
Yeah.
But like specifically patch-wise, it has been almost
Well, we have 9
20
patches per
patches.
cycle.
9. All right. So
So we have
It's-
like about 6 from 1.x
Mhm.
series ever since, and then we have
Yeah.
9, so that's 15,
yeah,
and then we have 2, so that's 17.
I was starting from like 1.3 to count to my
Yeah,
understanding,
17.
and I mean, yeah, it's been a while, and I still feel bad about the
1.3
Uh,
has an effect on people.
Yeah, it
It's like
does.
the
It
first time
does.
you actually
Especially the
believe the game
boss
can do
fight.
something.
yeah, the game has
It's a
actual
bit
weight.
harsh to say, honestly, but like, yeah.
But it's like a turning point for reverse really in its story quality. So yeah, I wouldn't count this. Well, I would. I just kind of find it funny, but in line with astrology, there was also like also the Chinese zodiac, right? If
Mhm.
I'm not wrong.
Oh.
There's also that too, but I'm not sure if that counted, so I didn't put it here. So yeah, we then have Oracular divination. This one is really specific. I had to briefly read about it just to confirm. But it's conducting divination rituals through specific intermediaries like a priest or priestesses and religious shrines, hence oracles, and hence Delphi, often seeking insight from a specific entity. So we have 37, 6, 77 by through Apiron. We can also include Vertin in this too because she was also thrown into the loop about divination
Yeah,
and
this,
everything.
Yeah.
this makes sense because of how Bertrand is written like a messiah, almost
Yeah.
Yeah.
like a savior. And also, can we add Sophia? Can we add Sophia, the preacher?
Sophia. Sophia.
Sophia.
Yeah, I think the
The timing is kind of funny.
yeah.
The timing is kind of funny.
One thing that I
But
would
No.
also ask
Sophia.
about is what about Nautica?
Oh.
Oh, that's true though.
Yeah,
That's
because the
true,
mother
though.
spirit is
Oh,
I should
also
have considered that.
we would consider as one of the higher
The
entity
entities.
we would call, I guess.
Which
Right.
would like
No,
Willow
but here's the
count with her like connection with Lou and like the Celtic side.
to my understanding, Naruka doesn't specifically seek information from the mother spirit. She's mostly guided by the teachings from her. But in regards to Willow, I don't really remember that much either. But I do know that she's like she does do practices based on like Luke's own teachings that I remember. So now thinking about it, it's like I'm not really sure. Probably not. Most likely not, because divination again is really specific. Sorry.
Yeah, it's like oracle. Like you need to like receive oracle from like a deity or something.
Yeah.
That's really specific.
You either get a moment of clarity or you crash out like 77 did right here.
Yeah.
She's having a
you
great
crash out.
time.
She's having a great time. 210 had a great time when 6 told them what the fuck happened in there. They cannot handle the truth anyway. Okay. In relation to Apiron, we also typically have numerology also, so reading and interpreting numbers to understand one's soul and fate. So you have like the entirety of Apiron here, actually. Because of how closely related their practices are to also quote unquote foreseeing each other's fates from defining each of the numbers based on like their nature, like 1, 2, 3, etc. If I'm not wrong, it made me remember that one specific scene from chapter 5 where 210 was kind of like talking about talking to Virgin about like, oh, you're gonna be alone because you're zero. You're the center. You're 0.
Yeah. We talked
But-
about each number's significance and all, but it's a great scene.
Yeah. It's a great scene. And it's as great as like the beginning of chapter 7 also because of 37 and 77's conversation about root 2 where root 2 pioneer of something, the pioneer like in context of mathematics, the pioneer of like expanding the knowledge about mathematics as a whole because it introduced irrational numbers. Sophia, but yeah. But
I mean,
yeah,
root 2 is technically 37's favorite number. That is true. Even before like giving that number to Sophia, who is
Yeah.
also her favorite person.
exactly. And it's kind of unfortunate that the timing was not that great.
I think it's unfortunate that Sophia doesn't understand what the message means.
Yeah.
Here is my favorite number because I like you. Girl, get the fucking
Crashes the fuck out.
message.
I'm an irrational number. Right. Oh, Sophia, think about it.
Sophia,
This is your best
Sophia,
friend. Your best
Sophia.
friend. You know your whole life. You know she has a favorite number. It's an irrational number, root 2. And suddenly she gives this number to you and said, this is your soul number. What does that mean, Sophia? Think about it. Think about
She's
it.
saying it. She said it in a very enthusiastic way too. Like if it were otherwise, if she didn't like the number at all, she would have like been so dejected, and probably wouldn't have told her at all. But
Yeah.
she was so eager to tell her, which is kind of sad.
It's
She put it
two
in
autistic people
a
falling in
fucking
love.
She
Not just
put
two
it in a bottle instead of like telling people their number like left and right without like consent. She actually put it in a bottle and wait for Sophia to open the bottle herself. Like, come on, you have so many rights, Sophia.
Girl, you could have done everything correctly if you just, thought outside of the box this time.
Yeah, stop thinking about the religious trauma, girl. Come on.
Girl. But yeah,
Really would
that's
be
also
excited
like
to see a sign that says honk if you like dogs and then actually honk.
oh my god.
Oh my god.
I think 37 would do that more than Sophia would.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Oh
So.
my god.
It's been on my mind for
Yeah, that's all like the major. That's like major. That's all of the major ones, if I'm not wrong, that I noticed. Because there are other ones, but they're not as significant as the ones that I have talked about. There are these bunch. There's also one that I didn't include, but I'll talk about it in a bit. So we have tarot, which is using cards. The specific word was cartomancy. I don't know why I wrote tarot. And then we have ophiomancy, which is using snakes as a means to determine fate, and that's for Kanjira. Interestingly, I had to read about Kanjira again because it's been a while, and no one pays attention to Kanjira. But from what I remember, Kanjira's main medium of doing divination is using Punji as like the vibe checker.
The vibe checker. Oh my god, it's basically Xiangliang. Just
it's essentially Changyang. And if I'm not mistaken, Punji essentially just like sends messages to Kanjira through hisses or through like just letting themselves express, and Kanjira will feel that while she's doing her reading. But she also does the other mediums that are in this slide. So she also does the cartomancy and tasseography. But before that, there's also osteomancy, which is the ability to conduct divination through reading bones, and that is Gotium's whole thing, or / the Mia monks, because they're capable of specifically reading people's fates in their bones. And he explicitly said, for one to be able to change their fate, they have to like completely restructure their entire bone system, kind of. So it's really interesting. Yeah, it's really interesting and kind of scary.
Imagine restructuring your entire skeletal structure. That's wow, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Though.
Imagine if you're like supposed to win like $1 million tomorrow, but unfortunately you got a like extension because you wanted to feel taller, and now you're going broke.
Unfortunate. If Gutian doesn't talk about his thing that much, but I do just remember that in 1.6 his whole conversation with Besmer, like he couldn't exactly read Besmer's fate properly because because he was like, oh shit, these bones are older than I am.
Yeah.
They're kind of old than I am.
Basically, ancient bones. Like this is like, Gertrude reading Vesper's bones is the same thing as like Burial trying to read Arcana and basically just bleeds out.
They get nothing, but also everything at the same time. It's kind of
They
funny
get
to see it.
confused, basically, because they don't understand.
get-
They can't like determine.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. To my understanding, it was also like the first time that we got like an illusion besides appearance that Erg slash Bismarck were like related kind of.
Yeah.
But anyway, we have palmistry, which is using the palm to read the life of a person, which Mercury particularly uses sometimes to ease people. I forgot if there are any other characters that also does this. I would have also said Kanjira too, but I cannot remember for the life of me. And there is Tasiography, like I said, which is using coffee grounds to practice divination. And Kanjira particularly uses it before she gets her coffee in the morning. There was also like a birthday note about this. That's why I remembered it.
More people should talk about
Also,
Conjura.
There's also one I actually didn't write here because I forgot. There's also spiritual divination, which is particularly Isolde's thing.
Yeah, open the window or
That's-
something.
Close
the window,
Open the
I mean.
window right now. Close the window. It's both. Isolde's family, their stores, their arcane skill relates to spirit channeling. And the thing with spirit channeling on their side is that they're capable of providing insight. These spirits are capable of providing insight, as well as providing visions also, which in Isolde's character story, trigger warning. Trista dying because she saw numerous visions about the wars and everything. Yeah. It's
And
kind of
also,
tragic
yeah.
to remember it. Yeah,
Yeah, like Derstorf himself, having his fate of being stabbed by Evangeline, like foretold during Isolde's first seance.
there was also Isolde foretelling like that one lady in that story that she was gonna die to something, and she ended up dying anyway when she tried to avoid it because it was inevitable. It was
Yeah.
kind of interesting, but also fucking creepy at the same time.
Like it's a common
Honestly,
theme
that's
of
like-
like predeterminism, of like
Mhm.
foretelling someone that an event's going to happen, but it actually still happens nonetheless.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's kind of like Bloom's fate because she's trying to avoid it, and by
Yeah.
avoiding it, she's playing into fate's hand. It's like, oh well.
Yeah.
Oh well, rip.
Rip,
Yeah, rip. Yet all these divination mediums are like they are just scratching the surface. These are like all of these. They're all like the major ones actually.
Yeah. The only
there's so
other
many
one
more
that I
down the
can
line.
think of is like is it already included in scrying, or would you consider hydromancy like another separate thing?
Hydromancy with water, yeah.
Yeah.
To me it really depends. I forgot to read much of the description for hydromancy, but like I think they're like kind of the same but also not. Because you would need to use the actual water, right?
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
you need to use the actual water, while with scrying you would use only like the reflection of the water.
Mhm.
Now thinking about
okay.
it,
I think I understand
Yeah,
now.
no-
Is that hydromancy is scrying, but not all scrying is hydromancy, basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have actually considered it because now that I think about it, gonna say specifically uses the water to be able to gain directions, right? So she technically falls under that more than the actual scrying. Although the example picture I put earlier was less of her arcane skill, more so of Jiu's arcane skill reacting to the river water, if I'm not wrong in the story. But yeah, I think pretty much, yeah, that's all that I can say about divination. Divination is a really interesting thing. Everyone can practice it, but they really have to commit to it, from fortune teller
It
to an actual diviner. But
it's
it's
difficult due to like interpretations, and
Mhm.
before you can interpret it, that you need to know yourself first to be able to interpret it, and that's the difficult part.
Yeah, it's an experience, and I get why Barrow kind of doesn't like it, but also doesn't mind it either,
Yeah,
because she can see everything, but she's still like, I don't. Nah. uh, but
I
yeah,
think she's tired.
you can really tell. You can really tell in her voice. She's really fucking tired of it.
Yeah, she's just like, I'm so fucking tired. Everyone's just here for my divination. I don't even want to do it.
Nobody loves me for
But I
me.
had.
Yeah, nobody asked Bernie
Uh,
for Bernie, so it's kind of sad.
uh,
It's
don't,
actually kind of sad.
yeah, don't worry. Black Ibis will talk about that once they, interrogate personally. Anyway.
Yeah.
But
Oh
yeah.
my god. Jeez.
But yeah, divination aside, we'll be probably moving on now to our next part, right?
Mm-hmm. Um, yeah. Move on. Hello there, everyone. It's so nice to be here once more, presenting in front of you again, similar to last time. But like you can really tell that I'm the one presenting because there's another white screen. We're bringing it back to flashback after not having it last episode. So like, it's back with a vengeance. Thankfully enough, I haven't forgotten about it. But like, yes, like but to be completely honest, I kind of don't have a clue to what to present last time. I mean, like I already tackled the history of the Fresh Blue last time, and unfortunately, I've been quite busy the past while, um, and it's very quite obvious with how tired I might sound today and how impromptu this is, but unfortunately, I did not get to do that much research into this patch as compared to 3.1, where I go through like several novels and movies just to discuss the historical references. But I had a long think about what I can do to present, and then I remembered something that I had presented in the past. Something that you guys have not seen before because we refuse to show it to all of you. Well, at least for the time being.
Oh,
And that is
yeah.
well, it's more or less about the writing of Reverse 99. And like for context, I'm not that big of a writer. I barely have any fix, nor am I a good critic of writing, of like literature and whatsoever. I don't have a degree, but I am at least a very avid reader, and that is things particularly to Reverse. And one thing about it is that I believe readers' response is quite a valid and a very important way of analyzing literature and also fiction. So, for that, more or less, I am going to go through the entirety of 2.2 in a reader's response perspective. In the past, I've actually done this quite a multiple number of times. Like the way I do reviews for Verse 1999, I do the Ripening Apple reviews on the main Discord server, which is quite a contest. I won quite a bit in it. I am squeezing Blue Puck of its money every time I do it, but generally I just try to give as much as I can regarding my opinion on it. And yeah, the excitement that comes with like the new lore and the information that we get, and like the dread with having to discuss it, and a generic interest into everything in what my friends unfortunately have leaked to me in the past. I just want to harmonize all of it into this one single presentation. So yeah, I want this presentation to be more of a discussion, and one that is more or less a polar opposite of the previous presentation. Where like previously I had so much energy, making jokes and all. I want this one to be more chill and an open space. I will be putting lo-fi music in the background. It will not be copyrighted, unfortunately. But yeah,
Uh-huh.
Previously, we had cold objective facts that came straight from the history books, and now we're discussing our own personal subjective thoughts. I also always wanted to have something like this for each patch, but I always ask myself, like, after a few months, after, say, a year after the story has originally aired, what will I feel about it? Will I remember it fondly? Will I have the emotions that I experienced previously still resonate with me, or something like that? And what scenes have impacted me enough to stir in my memories? And like a few things in reverse have done a few things in
Uh,
reverse have done that for me. It's like more punk, like as I said earlier, like Eluka Van Lastel, intersecting lines, Winds of Juhalarat, Cosmic Overturn, whatever that is, and like other also games outside of reverse, like Thousand Nightmares, and like there's quite a lot of them. And generally stories have a very enchanting, very interesting way of enchanting us and drawing us into them and making us remember them after the fact. So, really, let's see what the flowing feast has made me feel all this time. It'll be a little bit more all over the place, but you know what? I don't really care that much. This is the point of the entire thing. And don't worry, this is the entire presentation. It's going to be rambly. So, if you don't like it, skip this section.
Oh my goodness.
It's fine. But anyway, I think like I think there's not really a way to discuss this patch without discussing, Beryl herself. Like Adele might be the main protagonist, and I mean the main character and the protagonist, but I think a majority of us before the patch was even launched was interested in Beryl first and foremost because, well, first of all, of course, Matilda Mom. But also number two, yeah, Matilda Mom.
She's been she's been building up. The writers themselves have been building up Beryl's like identity, presence for a really long time.
Yeah.
So everyone is like, "Oh my God, it's she's here."
Finally,
Matilda's mom.
she's here. Like, she's been like
here. She's
teased
for once.
for over a year. Like, ever
my
since
God.
Golden City before arriving for her first appearance in 3.2. Like, I don't think there's a playable character with that much length between their, like, initial build-up and their actual appearance.
Okay, to be fair, the actual build-up started coming from, like, Matilda's lines about her.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
her first lines,
Yeah.
even.
Yeah, her first lines about,
even
like...
her. Yeah, sorry.
No, it's fine. But like, also like, the thing is, she was a bit mentioned there as well, but like not that much personated aside from being sort of absent from like Matilda's story that you unlock with Bond. But like even then, there's quite a lot to talk about her back then. Not that much to talk about her back then. The initial bit of intrigue is into like oh, she's actually a character with a lot of depth and will be like soon be further explored is back in 2.0. Yeah, exactly. It's 2.0, which is Golden City. And like, aside from her, I think the only other person that I think has that much build up between their original mention to their new appearance would be Resurrected Arcana.
Oh yeah, that is true. I was like think of Earth, but like you know what, Arcana works too.
Yeah, because
Arcana works
Earth
too.
I think has like a 6 patch gap between 1.1 and 1.6, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, between
Technically,
like
the gap was
yeah
1 because 1.1 she made an appearance, like a voiced appearance.
yeah a voiced appearance,
Even.
but like we would also have to consider 2.5 for Beryl if that's also the case. But like actual appearance, you could see them and all that. Like, yeah. And like even then in 1.1, Erd was not that much hinted at. We didn't even know it was Erd until like 1.6. And
Yeah, we didn't know much of like the friend from afar besides like the emails we got and also like remit cup, and
Yeah.
that's like pretty much it. And then it starts to build up because like Atu.
But yeah, and like Arcana, on the other hand, is like about 9 patches the entire cycle. Meanwhile, Beryl has a cycle and 2 patches, so that's quite a lot. So we had quite a lot
Yeah.
of time to gather the thoughts and let it fester around our minds as to who really Miss Monish is. And with that in mind, that being said, I just want to announce that before anything was even released or announced about Beryl's character, I have called Beryl and Black Eye Bishop way before Vigil's here announces their name, and I am just going
God
to
damn it,
say,
you still have to like come in and put it on the ownership.
yeah, I have
Because
to claim ownership.
technically you did call the ship before.
I did say this was gonna be a chill session, but I have to mention this at least once, okay?
Oh man.
I have to mention it at least once. Beryl is a clairvoyant. I am a clairvoyant. I am a prophet.
Wait, do we have to
Okay,
censor
and
this
people were
podcast?
calling me the prophet. People were calling me the prophet of this ship because I can draw.
Yeah. But hey, we have the other one here who has the dodgeballs.
Yeah.
So
But for anyone who can't read, this message was originally sent in May of 2025. You know, the big 2025, so like nearly over a year ago. And it's a bit vulgar, sure, but unless anyone goes forward and announces themselves to have insinuated a single drip of a ship between Beryl and Black Ibis before May 6, 2025, I will gladly call myself the pioneer of it. Just like, just like how the Vikings were there in America before Columbus. I may not have popularized it. Listen, I did not popularize it, but I was without a doubt there. I was there. Yeah. I was there. Before it was called the New World, before it was America, I was there.
it seems like also around the same time that Miss Grace and Monkey was starting to pick up.
Oh
as-
wow,
Yeah, I think
I
it was
did
the
make
same
that.
time it was festering on our end.
No, you made that. I was there. You subjected me to that.
Oh yeah, I remember I made that.
Yeah. But yeah, moving on, right?
Yeah, and
Moving
moving on. Oh my god. Still can't believe that exists. But aside from that, going back to the presentation, why won't you move forward? Yeah, so back to Beryl. I was partially excited to meet her upon the release of the poster, of course, because I saw Beryl. We all know there's only one person named Beryl in the entire world at the time. But I was even more excited during the release of the live stream. Because but of course there was this advent of people complaining about her design looking too young, and I was just like, yeah. But at the same time I was just there going, wow. What a fucking direction to take her character in.
Yeah,
Awareness?
The writing was really interesting.
Yeah, it was such a good book. Awareness, but not too much of it. I mean, but too much of awareness, and all at the same time with no stopping and no prompt whether you want it or not. That was such an insane hook to a character that, oh, I really cannot believe that was the direction that they took it in. I am so glad that it is. Because we were talking about Fate quite a bit, of course, with 2.8, and now of course we get 3.2, and it's such a good subject. And being an oracle and knowing about the future is a topic that has been heavily explored in a lot of media, and a lot of them as well try to frame being an oracle, or at least having knowledge of the future, being also a curse, questions of how will I die, and then the asker doing everything in their power to prevent this fate, only to befall it in the very end. This is something that's also discussed in Beryl's story, but of course it's going to be discussed in Beryl's story, and other things, one of the oldest stories about a man being in the desert, that is going to come to you in this place, so you go to this other place, and apparently the news is wrong and you die anyway. And that tragedy, I feel would have been the easy way to do Beryl's character.
It would
have
be repetitive too.
yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
only have Beryl be able to see bad fortunes and all that, and unfortunately, um, he has to give those out, and her clients are always someone that's trying to prevent it, only for it to happen again. Like that would be the easy way. What I didn't expect for them is to take the direction that I think is barely taken, if at all. Because I don't think there's a character, I personally, for me, I have not seen a character quite similar to Beryl in that way. Like, I feel like there's this one story about a super intelligence, but that's quite beside the point. Anyway, um, aside from that, it was quite interesting to also wait and see what someone's reaction to something would this be completely apathetic and uncaring, just simply existing, suicidal even, and if so, why would someone like that bother with having children, hold affection for them, and even hold a theft for an important object? Like from her first appearance alone, from the first trailer, like the first scene that we get introduced to her in the live stream, there were already so many questions that were being asked, and in many things, opinions being made about her character that is just genuinely a sign of how you make an intriguing and great character to come. And I'm just
Oh,
genuinely so happy that
Mm-hmm.
they really delivered with her. Like, as I said, this is gonna be quite a ramble. I'm going to be gushing about these characters and all that. And yes, Beryl is one of my new recent favorites of all time. And
I think it's like really
Mm-hmm.
interesting take on Reverse and Blue Park is that they created the character, give them the arcane skill for it since birth, and that power was like given her since she was born. So they just
Mm-hmm.
like built her up from like ever since she was born, and they just like asked the question, okay, what would happen to this child when she grows up with all this information like overflowing her brain? Like what would happen
yeah,
to
what would
her
be the
emotionally,
consequences?
spiritually? Yeah. And I
And
think that's like the direction they took. It's like in the most human way, what would a person do if they were have to like grow up like that?
Yeah, in that situation. And I feel like quite a few times I'm not a psychologist, but quite a few times I feel like there are some characters that you could apply, specifically Erickson's theory of socio psychological development, or no, not so
mm-hmm.
psychological, like psychosocial, there we go, backwards, theory
Yeah.
of psychosocial development in their characters, and you could really see step by step, age by age, how they develop and how they react towards it. And I think Beryl, like seeing her grow from infant to child to an adult, really encapsulates how much they really thought, from the age to age basis, and it's just really impressive. Like seeing how
Yeah.
she develops slowly
Mm-hmm.
into this kind of person.
I think like the problem with like
Yeah.
most character written with the power of foresight is that they think from a perspective of, oh, what would I do if I were be given the power of foresight? Or what would this character do if they were given the power of foresight, more than rather than like being like Barrow, where it's like, what would this child become? Would become of them if they were born with the power of too much foresight?
Yeah.
I think it more so goes on. Oh, it's not as grounded as like Barrel's direction was, because when most people think of, oh, what if they have foresight, they more so think of it,
Yeah,
oh, what if they have it right now, rather than, oh,
yeah,
what if they had it, what if this character had it since they were a child, what if
Yeah.
someone had it as a child, and
Yeah.
then how
yeah.
it
What if it's
progresses.
something you can't control?
Yeah, it's
Exactly.
they thought of the entire life of Beryl, whereas usually you think of things as contained in one story, in one timeline, in one time. You know?
Mhm.
Yeah,
I like the part where she essentially explained what happened, like what led up to her own birth also. like
Mm.
the events that led up to, before she was even born. That was fairly interesting because you could really
Oh yeah,
see
she
how,
she
yeah,
saw Napoleon, didn't she?
she foresaw Napoleon, she foresaw her own mother at the start of the business, and seeing how badly she was kind of like trying to cover up a lot of mistakes because she was not as great of a quote unquote great of a diviner as she was. So she compensated. But then but she still knew because she foresaw it even as an infant. She foresaw everything. And
Yeah.
rem- and going back, it would it would hurt a child's brain so significantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would. And one other thing that I would mention though is that as a child, like you would expect her to have some form of like infantile amnesia, but like since you already
No,
foretold this,
no,
and
she
also the
remembers it.
no, she
She remembers
remembers all of it.
everything. She remembers everything. It's so
Yeah, like
it's such an
I think,
interesting direction overall.
yeah, I
Like,
yeah,
love
I
the
think like
direction.
from like a character like artists, and also like who works with like writers. From what I understand is that they build Burrill's character and power with the setting in mind, and that setting is the rivers of fate, the Sephiroth, basically.
Hmm.
mm,
They build it with like the idea of how rivers like fate works, the river of fate works. So that's why it's uh they have like materials to work with when they start to like create it Burial as a character.
I do like the fact that they use the Sephiroth specifically as the basis of her understanding of divination also. I didn't mention it in like my segment, but yeah,
Mm.
it's definitely one of the interesting things that I like seeing her take because not a lot of people know about the Sephiroth, at least on an
Besides
average
Final
level.
Fantasy,
Yeah.
Besides Final Fantasy, besides people who are committed to Judaism, yeah, it's a very
mm.
interesting direction to take with her character also when trying to understand divination because, divination is a whole big thing and everything.
Yeah, there's a lot
So,
going on with it.
and there's so many different ways to go about it, but not a lot of people are creative enough to to expand on
Yeah,
it enough. So
exactly.
I do
Like,
like, yeah,
Yeah,
not
like a
everyone
little
is like
topic on
brave
the
enough to use a labubu for
divination.
divination.
Oh my
true.
god. Okay, a little topic on the divination part when you were doing your presentation demos, because like I was like thinking of the plot of As Above and Below, the movie that was like the reverse used for like based on the event 3.2, because like
Mm.
at the point in the movie that the main character was trying to find the philosopher's stone, and
Mm.
suddenly she figured out that because of how magic works, according to the script, what is outside me is also inside me. What is above is also below. So they just have like this one scene where the character saw like the reflection of themselves on like the plate, silver plate of like stone that's supposed to be the stone, and I was like, isn't this just the plot of Kung Fu Panda? What? That's like, and I was like watching the movie, like, isn't it just the
Oh,
plot of Kung Fu Panda? It's like you just need to believe in yourself and understand yourself to
it's
be
the
able to
golden
use
scroll.
the magic
The
power,
Golden
and that's
Scroll.
it.
Yeah,
And I
God,
was like,
you're the dragon master.
You're
you're
building
the
this
dragon.
out.
This is basically like how divination works, is that you need to one understand yourself and how you interpret the world, and then you like interpret what you see from divination. Basically that's
Mm.
pretty much it.
Mhm.
It's like, oh man, then does Boru understand herself? Not really.
Yeah,
Not really.
Not entirely, no.
yeah. self-discovery is gonna be a pain in the ass when you have to discover everyone at the same time without your consent.
Mhm.
Yeah.
God.
Um, one other thing that I should mention is also her afflatus intelligence or intellect, as it's actually called. I actually just recently discovered it. It's not intelligence; it's
Uh-huh.
intellect.
Oh my god. We're really gonna talk about afflatus?
Yeah, it's not that it's big of a surprise, considering that
Yeah.
I did ask both of you to send me the link to the latest thing
Oh
earlier.
yeah.
So yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah.
What was your afflatus again? What
I
was your
don't think
afflatus?
I still don't think I did it.
Took the
You
test.
didn't do the test.
I
Okay, you
did
didn't do
not.
the test.
Yeah. I'll do it some
The
other
Deimos
time.
was mineral, I think, which is fitting.
Yeah. You were?
Oh, and what UV sis? Sir.
It's the one afflatus that I'm just like meh with, like.
The one you're
Look,
about. It's the one you
man.
slash
Wait,
me.
okay, look. Imagine like me getting intellect. Okay, look. It's just me. Like, okay, what is the definition of intellect in this category? Really, just being an observer, is that enough? Is trying to find the truth enough? Like, what is the category?
Yeah.
Like the primal afflatus.
Yeah.
It's like the ones that I struggle with the most because of how broad
Yeah.
it is with each
Because like
character.
spirit, yeah, you deal with ghosts, right? Or you are ghost, and then you have someone like Mercuria.
Yeah.
Someone like
So it's
Isolde.
like question mark. You know what? The fact that I'm even questioning like the true meaning of the primal afflatus is enough to tell that this is probably an intellect. Someone in intellect would just fucking
Yeah.
say this.
But like at the same time, it feels like the primal afflatuses are just something like created by Utu the same way that they create Beyond for like people for like things that they cannot classify.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, you have to remember this is that the afflatuses are very implemented in the game enough that even
Yeah.
Ezra has to like get
Yeah.
testing just to see what his is. So
Yeah, in the foundation they take an MBTI test and it results into afflatus.
You have to be an afflatus.
Yeah, but like honestly for Beryl, like it's not surprising. I think we all expected something like intelligence or maybe even star to match with Matilda and all that.
Yeah, Matilda.
Yeah.
But there's a good reason why she's not a star afflatus.
Yeah. With like convictions and all that, I assume. But intellect.
It's more like because of star afflatus. It's more about the idealistic ones,
Yeah.
basically the ones who follow their dreams, the ones who believes in their dreams, like the dreamers, basically.
Yeah.
And Burrow is she's trying. She has a goal. I wouldn't call it a dream.
Something. She's following something.
Yeah, she's doing
But
something.
Yeah, something.
She's doing something, all right.
But yeah, what do you have to say about it then?
Yeah.
Going back.
But
Look,
yeah,
she's doing a lot of things.
Yeah, she's doing a lot of things.
Yeah.
So we don't bother a queen while she's busy. Anyway, as I previously said, as we previously said, intellect is of course for the intellectuals for the most part, of course. Like a lot of them are focused on either gaining knowledge on a certain topic, achieving a certain goal, or being quite literally the definition of technology, at least for the time. And what they want to do with that technology or knowledge or goal is up to themselves, of course, with some wishing to change the world with it and using the knowledge to mold it, like Lucy being the literal embodiment of technological progress as an awakened version, and Corvus with her wish to unite the Danube. Others, meanwhile, take the opposite step, like gathering knowledge, but instead, I wouldn't say stagnating with it, but instead like holding that knowledge to themselves, I guess. Like I would say an example would be Door which is like having the entire universe but only wishing to display it. Or like 6 being leader of Operon and as its leader only being there as 6 as a symbol of balance and stability, not change it. And Mesmer Jr., I guess, with like being fully aware of the atrocities committed by her family and that she is brought up in, and the ever questioning whys in her head from her anecdote being louder and louder, and yet she remains stagnant in her position after she has weighed all the currently available options. And I think it's rather obvious that Beryl, for the most part, belongs in this second group, being a bit nihilistic before the storm, and like with
Mm-hmm.
all the knowledge she is filled about the future, but believing it to be unchangeable due to being time and time again beaten against it. She doesn't attempt to change the streams of fate. She only tries to read them until they become unreadable.
Mm.
Like,
It does remind me.
yeah,
Yeah, it does remind me of the scene in the scenes in her character story also, where she keeps saying that, oh, I have stood across the riverbank for far too long, and
Oh.
how would someone understand the river if they never stepped in it?
yeah,
And she did,
yeah,
and she's
exactly.
gained something.
Like, I was
Mhm.
about to talk about that later because there's a very similar quote from another character that I wanted to discuss. But yeah, dude's saying basically predetermination.
Mhm.
It's like the idea of the event that will happen no matter what, and regardless of whether anyone's whim or opinion about it. The reason why I introduced inflatuses into this is because besides seeking knowledge or choosing to use it or not use it, another theme that I believe um, happens rather commonly and is discussed among intellect characters is predeterminism. Events that will happen eventually, but they will happen and you'll have to live with the dread of that, basically. So far, I believe I have counted 3 characters, aside from Beryl, of course, that deal with predeterminism in their own way that I think are rather interesting and I think should be discussed as well. So, like 3 intellect characters, who do you think?
Lucy, I think maybe.
Specifically pertaining to predeterminism.
Yes.
That's to my the first 2 that already came to mind was like Mesmer Jr. and surprisingly John Titor. And surprisingly, I said John Titor. I thought of that.
John Titor.
Of all characters, I thought of the one that's barely talked about. But it was like Mesmer Jr. 6, right?
Yeah.
Then the third one? I'm trying to think. Because there are very few intellect characters.
What gum? Question mark.
Huh? What?
Or X.
But
X
yeah.
maybe.
But yeah, I think the first one is quite obvious enough, considering that, it's the entire thing about it. But like the first and easiest one would be obviously 6, Atticus. It's the focal point of his character story, trudging the long night, and has built up his entire personality since he was a child. Like, the revelation and all. And like, a bit tangential, but like a fun fact about me is that genuinely, Trudging the Long Night is one of my favorite character stories in Reverse 1999, like without a doubt. And it's like one of the most monumental out of all of them, and fundamental for my experience as a player. Like, because more punk, as previously said, gave me like the hope as to what this game can be. But Six's character story was actually the first one that convinced me to try to write about this game, like try to discuss it. It was the first one that made me go, oh, there's actually enough meat for me to dive in, explore, and like share with other people in the things that I actually want and am actually invested in doing. Like, I really would not be here confidently talking out of my ass if it wasn't for Six's character story being that compelling. So, this roused. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, what are you doing? Go check it out. It's an order. But generally,
order.
Yeah. We have all. we have already discussed this in like Thai reverse fan meeting about like six anecdote. Like a lot of people really like the six anecdote, especially with like the discussion of like the sand. I think the character story and another anecdote. Sorry, it's like the like I think it's like this discussion of like counting the sands on like the beach.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna take a long time, but eventually it's gonna be possible to count all the sands in like on the beach.
Yeah. It's like one of the things about his character story that I remember every so often. But aside from that, I think the metaphor that I want to focus on specifically is the falling bottle. You know, um, as for those that do not know or haven't read it, I guess I'm gonna have to explain it a little bit. The memories and the knowledge of the lineage of the Sixes are passed on from one family member to the next, and Atticus is faced with that fact that without a doubt, he will eventually be receiving all of this knowledge and experiences that came from the many before him, and he came to fear it and adapt in his own way as he saw Alma, his aunt, and the previous six become six, and the aunt that he knew and loved disappear, and all of the fondness she once carried become indifference with all of the countless knowledge in her mind. And like there's like no doubt that it will happen to him someday, and you know, no doubt that it will happen to him someday. Predetermination. And like as I said, one of the metaphors is he did is to try to cope with it as much as possible. Like if a glass bottle is going to fall off a table, he covers his eyes and he doesn't see it teetering to the edge, no matter how close it is, and tries to ignore it, you know, because ignorance is bliss, or something along those lines. And like such a good metaphor of the thing, but the next thing that he tried to do is, of course, try to minimize the damage of the event as much as possible. Like the ball is undoubtedly going to fall. There's nothing he can do about that. But what he can do is try to avoid the repercussions of it. If he can't avoid the ball from falling off, he can at least place a blanket over where it's going to fall to make sure that afterwards, you know, after it's fallen and crashed, maybe he can try to pick up the pieces easier this time and try to continue on afterwards. And like, so he isolated himself and studied for years to come prepare what's to come. I mean, to prepare for what's to come, and like to simply try to fill himself with as much knowledge, such that eventually, when that infinite knowledge comes, maybe he will still be himself in it, and that the question simply becomes: will he still become himself in it, and what else must he do to do? And this is slightly, I guess, different from Barrels in a way that she cannot prepare herself because it's constant, you know. It already happens time and time again. But like the part that I want to highlight the most is that at the end of Six's story, he realizes that all that he has studied, all that he has read about and like prepared, those experiences and text and words will never be enough and can never be equal to the experience itself. It's nothing compared to the real thing itself. Like previously you said earlier that something about Beryl's character's quote, I mean story being like quote, I have strayed too far from the river, and like I have spent too long analyzing and studying the river that I forgot to be in it myself, or something along those lines, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because like there's something similar in Six's story, in like I believe it was something like he approached the beach and he felt the warmth, I mean the warmth of the water curl against his toes and his feet, and then he realizes everything that he has read, everything that he has studied, none of them were more real than the water by his toes.
Yeah, this is like reminds me of something we have in like Buddhism, is that try to like describe a food that to like another person who has never had this food before, and it can never be as real as giving the food to that person and let them experience it themselves.
Mm.
Yeah, there's like
Because
quite
like
a lot of thought experience. Like even beyond religion, like
yeah,
there's
I think it's like the intelligence and wisdom, basically knowledge and wisdom, kind of a deal.
yeah,
So
Mm.
wisdom has come from like the experience. Intelligence, knowledge that comes from books
yeah,
and studying.
from knowing it.
Mm.
Like personally, this like an interesting parallel for me with like Beryl's character and the events because Styx gets his knowledge from those in the past. Meanwhile, Beryl gets her knowledge from events that's about to happen in the future. You know, both of them have like predetermined events that are bound to happen to them. Styx realizes that beyond words, beyond expressions, there is nothing that can compare to experiencing the event itself, while Beryl remains apathetic and cold to experiencing it. Like one of the quotes from her character story is she takes a sip of the tea, but she already knows what it's going to taste like, and the experience of tasting it only serves to confirm that fact. So, regardless of the event happening itself, despite her experiencing it for the first time, because her oracles, I believe, only give her the facts, the information, she remains apathetic to the actual experience itself. And like,
Nothing surprises her.
yeah, nothing surprises
Mhm.
her, and not even the experience. But yeah, more or less, that's more so it for Atticus. Surprisingly, you guys have not guessed the other character that's coming up next.
Mm.
Hmm.
And honestly, it's a bit surprising considering that this character is all about determinism and control, and literally uses luck and fate in a story chapter that's about fate. Um, Aleph,
Oh.
or more specifically,
Right.
Dr. Merlin, or the physician. Um, because I would say this is rather on the nose because of the plots and themes of Folie de Raison, another French word, but like still, especially with the parts concerning the Die of Babylon. Merlin specifically believes that the path of transcendentality is about control. It's about determining things before they actually happen, taking into account of things and playing fate down to the very dice rolls. And like personally, this is also another really interesting take on predeterminism and fate, as we can literally see Merlin meet his demise after accepting that his version of transcendentality cannot be obtained, and he has to accept that things are falling apart and getting quite out of hand. Like it for me, it quite echoes Beryl's thoughts. Like you cannot play fate and determine how everything is by yourself. Fate will always play you instead when the time comes. Like
And
similar to
mm.
Beryl, like you can try to like find as many people to play against fate as much as possible, but at the end of the day, you're going to be on fate's whims, unless you're a Kana, I guess.
It's like how she talks about the storm specifically. Like she always says, "Oh, the storm has played another joke to me because I attempted something to change something, and
Yeah,
yet
he
it all
helped
falls
out
apart."
Broom and all that, and then Storm.
Storm.
He's like, you know what, Storm? I can't Storm.
Mhm.
That being said, though, how do you think a conversation between Beryl and the idealist would, I mean, not the idealist, the physician would go?
Oh my god, that's not. Look, any conversation with Beryl is difficult to like determine because most of the time she would just be polite about things and actually not like paying attention because she's probably dissociating.
She's not really paying attention because she just doesn't want to know what this person's fate is. She doesn't want to
Yeah,
look at the river.
yeah,
Yeah,
Um,
like even in her design, she never looked at anyone directly, and that's like, oh, that's an interesting like way to design it because she doesn't want to see people's face. She's kind of tired of it.
she doesn't look at Burton. She doesn't look at anyone, right?
Yeah, except for like
In the
Adele in
eyes.
that one CG.
Except Matilda.
Except Adele and Matilda, I guess. You know what?
Yeah.
Father and daughter, sure. What the hell, sure.
Sure.
But
How many dad candidates? Jesus Christ! Like, how many wives do you have?
uh-huh.
Yeah, like it's the many
But
wives of Beryl Bonish instead of Evelyn Hugo.
I just want to hope that it's not Arcana. I just want to hope it's not Arcana.
We all hope. We all hope.
Nobody wants like Akane to be anyone's wife. Maybe Earth.
Yeah.
Maybe I can take that.
Listen, remember, Arcana specifically is like the one ship where neither of the characters interacted, yet it's really fucking popular among the fandom. Like,
It's probably one
Yeah.
of the most popular non-interacted like
Oh, without a
ship in
doubt.
like both CN and
yeah,
global.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, it's insane, but at the same time, if you have to think realistically, no one would fucking want Arcana to be their fucking spouse. God, not even God would want that.
I mean, like, I would argue that there are some people on Twitter, but sure.
Only on Twitter. Only on Twitter. However,
Only on Twitter.
on the story, no. Stop. Stop. Arcana's
Stop,
going
get some
after
help.
Arcana's going after everyone's fucking mothers. So like, no.
Okay, next patch we now learn about I don't know Arcana having something to do with 77 in the past, and we just like learning
Probably.
about this now.
The thing is,
Probably.
I'm very scared to see if Arcana has something to do with the Mesmer family.
Oh no!
Because it's
Oh my
very
God, no.
possible. I'm just saying.
I remember hearing about people joking about, Arcana being involved with Senato's possible parents. It's like, oh my God, no.
Okay, look, my theory is that Arcana is actually Soneto's mom, like for real, and that's why the writers have her like having like some sort of connection with like Matilda's mom and also Bertin's mom
Yeah.
because it has to follow a script.
Yeah. You all better dodge these fucking dodgeballs, I swear to God.
It's not gonna hit me this time, surely.
But yeah.
You have a specific emote for that. We know it's gonna hit you
Yeah.
eventually.
Yeah, there isn't a specific emote for me now after I have like accidentally predicting things to be happening like 6 times in a row in one day or something.
Mm.
Yeah. Never mind. I don't think I should talk about that. Never mind.
Uh-oh.
Never mind.
Okay, back to Aleph. Let's
Yeah,
go.
but yeah, I'm actually basically almost done with Aleph. You guys also guessed like the last one. The last one is actually X. It's a bit of a
Hey.
stretch, but
boy.
about things that are predetermined. You can't really talk about things that are predetermined without talking, of course, about chaos theory and of course the butterfly effect. But really more than X, the thing that I want to talk about is kind of tangential to him. I also wanted to talk about something that I've been meaning to talk about for a long while now, ever since 1.4, and thank God I now have the opportunity to do so. Of course, Laplace's demon. You guys know about it? Laplace's demon.
Laplace's
I
demon.
read about Laplace's demon. I think it's just that I think I forgot about it now.
Oh, perfect. But yeah, Laplace's demon is a thought experiment where basically a super intelligence knows every single precise location and state of every single atom in the entire universe, and they also know how they would interact and what their interactions will be at a single point in time. Basically, the thought experiment supposes that if a superintelligence knows all of these facts, basically they're able to calculate using basic mechanics the entire past, like all of their previous states, as well as predict the entire future. If everything is atoms and we know their interactions, everything in the future is already predetermined, the way their neurons are already defined the moment the universe started to exist and even before. Basically, this is the
So
ultimate
like,
form of scientific predeterminism. So yeah.
okay, so
Mm.
like basically an actual functional chat GPT is what I'm thinking right now in my brain. It's like, oh, so like actually like an answer machine that actually works and doesn't like miss a match and stir everything up in a pot and give you the answer type shit.
Yeah,
Actually
it
thinks
doesn't
about
spread
it.
misinformation.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, it's like spreading information for the funny.
Mhm.
But yeah, it basically is just if everything is made out of atoms and atoms have certain interactions to one another, if we all know the state of everything at one point, we should be able to predict everything before that point and after that point. Like X is a part of Laplace, of course, but he is not a proponent of this thought experiment. He is against Laplace. This demon. He discussed it quite a bit in his anecdote that released over half a year ago now, but the way I see it, X is closer to Adele than he is to actually Beryl herself. Like,
Mm.
um, fighting against fate and determinism to choose what he wants to do, like, killing billionaires in the health industry like an Italian plumber. Um,
Real.
like,
God.
that's one of the things that he did in his anecdote, which, in all honesty, it's a bit rough against around the edges, but I actually like it quite a bit. But as he previously mentioned earlier, there's the butterfly effect, and X believes that despite that possibility, the butterfly has already flown its wings and has already disrupted the superintelligence or Laplace's demon from visions of the future. There is already chaos in the system, and it is substantial enough to warrant unpredictability in this universe. But more than that, however, the reason why I think X is more like Adele than Beryl is because of this one line from his anecdote, where basically he goes, when you were erecting that perfect machine, did you ever think that even the smallest of gears might have a will of their own? And like that is generally the crux of his own anecdote, like the will of the
Mm.
gears. Like as long as you attempt to defy fate, he believes that you can change it. Like in a well-oiled machine,
Mm.
even a single gear failing or protesting against its flow can disrupt the entire cycle. And this is genuinely why I really like X's character so much and how much it goes against Beryl's own insight before the storm. Because I think both we and fans really have to give um more props to X's character and like give more runtime to this piece of shit, please. I need more Lorentz. But like
Most of the time he
Mm.
appears and he's already doing like something that is more like, oh, this is a secret. You can learn about this later. And
it's constantly
He's
dangling
just something
threads.
like
Yeah.
he's
interesting. Yeah.
his every appearance just makes him really silly about the secrets that he's holding.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. I mean, he's.
Uh,
I mean, that makes sense. So even his
he's silly
character
by
can make sense.
design. He's silly by design, but like there's a lot of serious undertones from that silliness also. Like I think he is like one of the few characters that can actually piss Burton off, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah. I mean, like
One of the
making
very few
Sonetto
that's
kill
capable.
someone is kind of like an easy way of pissing Verdun off, you know?
Yeah,
Mm.
true. Just like getting anyone to do anything without their knowledge or consent either. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would piss her off greatly.
Yeah, it would give her
Especially when
chapter
it's
3
someone she cares
flashbacks.
for. Chapter 3
Yes.
flashbacks. Oh shit.
But yeah, this is like a
Can
quite an
you?
interesting thought process among the intellect characters because of course we had like Allah trying to control fate to his own whims. You have Six trying to move alongside it, trying to find a workaround, and then realizing that the experience itself is completely different from learning about it. We have Beryl, quite indifferent to it, in an attempt to save her own like psyche and all that. Which, to be fair, I don't blame her for it. Then here we have X, trying to defy it as much as possible. Whereas Adele herself, I would say, is trying to defy it, of course. But to her, like, there's a certain part of her that goes, if it's the only path left, sure, but I will explore everything else. Meanwhile, X genuinely fully believes that even the smallest person can try to disrupt it and somewhat succeed. And yeah, those are the main three that I thought of. I know like there's quite a few more, but these are the ones that I believe specifically deal with predeterminism because in six, it's in his blood. Aleph, he tries to control it literally because the die is literally predetermined, and then X
Yeah.
with the case of Laplace's demon. And of course, we have
Mm.
circling back to Beryl because this is what this presentation is all about. I circled off so much. There's quite a bit I
Yeah, it's
wanted to
time to
discuss
go
with
back to
like
fangirling. Let's
yeah,
go.
with like
Mhm.
Gnosticism and go about religious determinism and Pascal's wager, but I've been oh my god. Determinism is definitely one thing that I've been really excited to talk about ever since like again 1.4 and is a topic that originally had me writing about reverse and all that. And Beryl definitely brought all of that energy back and multiplied it tenfold. Again, it's generally quite interesting to get a fresh take on determinism. Fate as an unchangeable constant is quite cliche, but the knowledge of fate being constant, again, is something that not often happens. And one of my personal parts of this event was actually getting to see through her, being able to see her thoughts as the narrator as she talks to Verdun. Like in the story,
Mm.
she's a bit of an observer, being quite distant
Mm.
and difficult to see what she's actually thinking and unemotional to the events happening. So when you actually get to see that glimpse beyond that veil, it genuinely feels so good, especially when you can tell like within the how it's written and how she actually delivers it, the actual weight of it. Like from Beryl smiling for the first time at the fact that she cannot foretell whether Adele or Felician will win in this genuine fight. I mean, this final fight, or like the genuine joy, and like in the way that she lights up at the mention of her own daughter. Like such a nice way of depicting her character through these small glimpses that eventually will form an entire picture when put together, and then it turns into a beautiful image. Like I would say that the recent depictions of multifaceted characters have been really great with Reverse so far, like with examples like Muldir or Marianne, and then now Beryl with um without a doubt joins the ranks of like extremely well done and well rounded characters, and I really can't wait to see more of her in the near future. And yeah.
Honestly, she still needs to like come back to the plot due to like we still have two stolen relics that we still don't know what they are,
Yeah.
and they're just like in the black market right now.
They're still in the
Yeah,
black
hey,
market right
let me
now.
just
Who
see
knows? They might still
them.
be in Eternity's possession. I would not be surprised.
We still don't know what they are. Like, what are they? Why are you keeping them a secret? I wanna know.
their
We
future
we
potential
got three
plot
of
threads.
them.
God damn it!
Yeah,
They're just gonna
I mean,
make like a new
oh my god.
friend.
Yeah. So we only got 3 out of the 5. We got the seal for an Andronella, and then we got
Reunion of the Three
reunion of
Swallows.
3 swallows, and
And also
and
the
we
raw lion's tail, yeah,
which
with the
Yeah.
resurrection.
which is just
Honestly,
an actual thing.
yeah. Roar Lion kind of
Yeah.
scares me because, like, God damn it. Roaring Month is a thing. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, the fucking bank has a tail and it's actually an actual creature. God damn, I didn't
Yep.
know that.
I mean, if I'm not wrong, I remember saying everything in reverse somehow will find its way to being canon in some way.
Yeah, I think that's
Because
for
Yeah,
the
it's
most
like
part a lot of
Atu.
gotchas, honestly.
yeah, true.
People
But
being
like,
surprised that Atu is real.
Yeah.
yeah, it's also the same energy as when people found out that the roaring jukebox specifically has lore also.
Yeah. It's in the information
does.
section. You
Yeah.
just press one button.
Exactly. It's so funny when people find out about it. It's like, oh yeah, the roaring jukebox, that jukebox where it gives you rewards if you complete certain tasks. Yeah, he actually that little lion actually fucking reacts when you achieve some rewards. So it's like,
You just need to read a little
Yeah.
bit.
just a bit. It's not that hard to read, especially these days. It's still not hard to read.
It's not that hard to read, please. But
Yes.
oh, speaking of well-rounded
Oh my
characters, we have a bit of time left.
Matilda.
Let's talk about an extension and talk about her daughter instead, Matilda, the duck we all really love. We all love Matilda here, and if you don't
You
love
have not
Matilda,
reached enough
subscribe.
the story.
If you like Matilda, subscribe.
Oh my god. Look, if you don't like Matilda, that's because you have not read her story enough.
Yeah,
That's it.
exactly. I have read like a comment saying that Beryl is the first likable French character because they don't like Matilda.
Excuse me?
Oh, hello. There's also there's also
Give me the
Maria.
one.
Yeah, they also don't like Marianne because like she's a sad soldier but also French.
Look,
Hello.
I'm like kind of mad with the French, but like I love Isabel. I love Sylvie Dubois so much. I also
Oh,
love
they believe
Maria
that Elizabeth
Matilda,
is
so,
Greek.
like, oh my god.
Here's
That's
a
the scared?
Did they make it a point? Didn't they even make it a joke that Elizabeth was based on the Gorgon when she really wasn't? Well,
Yeah.
she is.
No,
but
he's
like
a Milucine.
He
exactly.
literally says
They made it-
Lusignan.
Oh
The
my
game
god.
made jokes about it. They made it a point that oh my god, that she's not based on the Gorgon. She's just based on a Melusine. Even even where she came from, like she's not from fucking Los Angeles. She's from Melusine, France, or at least
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's from
I
like the
forgot
birthplace of like Milucines in
exactly.
France. I can't remember the name, but like that's her hometown.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But like a
but
bit of a
yeah.
fun fact, Matilda has now appeared in total of 4 main story chapters. It's chapter 3, chapter 4, interlude. I mean, not interlude. I mean, interlude, and then to the new world. That's 4 main story chapters and 6 event stories. So, Nightmare at Green Lake, more punk. I'm trying to remember. And then there's also 2.0, 2.5, and now 3.2. I'm forgetting one of them, god damn it. But yeah, anyway.
I mean, she's a favorite.
She's a favorite.
She's the writer's favorite, and you can tell because of
Yeah.
how many times this girl has been clowned on.
Yeah. She's a favorite of both
Yeah.
the writers and the fandom, I feel. And like, to be completely honest, my first thought of Matilda upon originally launching the game is that it would be something of a throwaway character. How wrong I was. Because like
Oh no.
being a free
Oh,
5-star that you originally obtained and is not really that good in terms of the meta. In all honesty, it's a bit of a flag for me that that kind of character is, well, like, unless you're the mascot of the game, of course, it's a bit of a flag to me that you're not going to be here for that long, you know? And like, her personality didn't show that much either in chapter 3, but we did see a lot more of her in chapter 4. I think that it was a really good scene with Soneto and all that, but after that, I thought that she was going to remain as a comic relief character with the majority of the guilt, the introspection, the contemplation being given to the rest of the people surviving the breakaway incident. Because there's a lot of space for all of those things to be pushed over there. But no, during the Tomorrow Pound happened, and I came to appreciate how smart and how capable Matilda is. Despite her very young age for the first time, and her capacity to make an event interesting and enjoyable enjoyable the whole way through. And then after that, Golden City happened. And I get to see Matilda's conviction and her true beliefs in saving the people and her capabilities as an investigator again. And now
Matilda just like pushing the bars here. She's just
Yeah.
like pushing the bars up higher.
yeah, like she's so cool.
Yeah.
And then now handover day happened. We get to see Matilda introspect, reflect even, and then just like her arcane skill, reflect. She,
Yeah.
reflect on who she
Yeah.
wants to be. Like, she is kind. She plays around the rules for the best of everyone. She grieves. She hates the fact that people are leaving her behind, and she stands up for her beliefs to the best of her ability. Every single appearance of Matilda so far has made me appreciate her character more and more and more and more. And how the fuck do they do that?
It's like the build up. The build up was really good because like they caught you with the clownery and also like making fun of her so many times. But when they lock in, they lock the fuck in on Matilda. Like it's so good.
good.
Yeah, like
Because
oh my
of
god.
I really like how like BP writes character based on their arcane skill. And with like Matilda, her arcane skill being like based on like reflections. And it's just not from the reflection to like be able to do divination. They expanded it and make her a character that revolves around reflecting herself with other people. Like reflecting herself like with Burial, with Veneto, with Burton, and like push herself to like reach that level. Like that is a good writing. They expanded on just one thing.
Yeah, it's just one thing, and one thing that has been there since launch. And they further. Oh god, it's so good. And like,
yeah, I remember.
is
The only other time. Oh, hey.
yeah, go ahead, Deimos.
Oh my god, the gang.
Sorry, I was gonna say right. The only other way that they use like the theme of reflection, right, was for tragedy also. Like it's very common, right?
Yeah.
The theme of reflection of someone reflecting other people, it's usually in a negative connotation.
Yeah, like
Matilda,
Campania.
Matilda's so, oh my god, it's great.
I refuse to die from like Matilda would be the type of person who would shrug off depression. Shrug it off.
She would be like she would be that friend who would support you along the way while still not kind of understanding the entire thing.
Yeah.
She'll just do everything to help you.
Yeah.
Because she wants to. Like, come on. We got her whole anecdote as evidence too. It's
like maybe not fully empathize, but she will do her damnedest to sympathize. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah, and really, it's at this point where I love her character so much, just as much as everyone in the breakaway incident. Can we take a moment to appreciate how Blue Box has written these four? Like, all of them are connected by a single event and changed their lives and developed on their own, and yet they have their own colorful set of personalities and beliefs that makes them unique from one another and have their own reasons to love them. Like, oh my god, I love them so much. They all hold a very special place in my heart that I think it's really unappreciated as compared to like other groups in the game, like the Aperon group or like the Vienna group or like the Igor Sentinel family and all that. Like, these four are such a strong cast. They're all connected by one thing, and yet they all develop into such great characters on their own that stands by themselves and like that can stand by themselves.
They're connected by like one of the most tragic things too.
Yeah, here's the thing. It's like one singular tragedy, and of course, every character will be affected by this tragedy, like every character involved, right? But the way that Deepak does it, the way that it's written in the story is really interesting because it's realistic. Like, all four of them have like very unique takes of what happened and how they interpret that fact because they experienced all of it differently. Like, Burton is like the most exposed to what happened. And then that's followed by Senato, who was like at the last moment, who was there at the very last moment. And then you have Matilda, who was the one who provided the crystals, right, to Burton when her group left. And then you go back all the way back to Mesmer Jr., who was like the catalyst.
The one who snitched.
She didn't even snitch. Yeah, she didn't snitch.
She just discovered. Like, it wasn't even her fault. Like, every single time people talk about Miss Virginia negatively, they always say, "Oh, she's a snitch." No, that
He
was
never
not her
fucking
fault.
snitched. Like, I'm
Okay,
sorry,
but
I
like,
got scanned by TSA at the airport.
yeah, okay, understandable because like Constantine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's but still, they're so well rounded because from that specific event they still branched out into various characters with their own goals, personalities, everything, like Red said. And at the end of it, yeah, the way that they deal with that and the way that they deal with everything afterwards, it really stands out. They really stand out from each other. It like that specific event is not definitive of their character either.
Yeah, it's great. That said,
I feel like
do you guys want me to do
the
something
the
very
gang.
cruel?
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
What?
do you guys want to rank
Hey.
them?
What? No.
Which of these
You do
characters
not
do you
pick
like the most?
favorite. You
I
do
knew
not
it was
pick favorite between children. Excuse you.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Great, great, great.
But you were
We love
about to say,
Rage
Yeah,
Baby.
Yugi.
because
This house.
I was like going to say that the gang reminds me of like a movie, and also it's the movie that is like being referenced on in like their flashback, Dead Poet Society. Is that it's more like a fan fiction. Not gonna lie, the gang is more like a fan fiction of Dead Poet Society, because at the end, for like spoilers for people who haven't like seen, is that one of the important, like one of the friends of the classmate died, and that changed everyone. Like one tragedy happened, and that changed everyone, and they all grow into like having a more determined, having more determination in their paths that they chosen, and won't back down to anything because of one tragedy that happened. So like this is like a fan fiction of Dead Poet Society in July.
Oh god, that post society.
What happens
Haven't been a
after
while.
the tragedy?
It's an alternate universe of what
Yeah.
could have been.
Yeah.
It's been great, but returning to Matilda for a moment,
Mhm.
yeah, as I said, I enjoy her presence quite a lot, and Beryl was right. Like those who come meet her often leave smiling, but why exactly is that? Why is every appearance of Matilda feel so good to her character? Because the thing is, we're not exactly learning something new about her each time. We already know that, Matilda is extremely capable from a young age in the first place. We already know that she has the conviction to become an investigator. We already know that she has been kind to people, despite some degree of arrogance in the way that she presents herself and the amount of care. But like, still, the amount of care that she gives to her friends and others surmounts that nonetheless. And we already know now how gay she is, but like, what is new? And Matilda, without a doubt, for that fact of the matter, is a very static character, one that doesn't change that much. Since her childhood and her first appearances, we have seen her to be very convicted in her actions and beliefs. She is strong, she is unshakable. And the thing is, in writing, effective static characters often have an aspect of them that make them interesting, despite their immunity to further development. This can be as simple as extreme relatability, as was the case with like self-insert and such, or characters that are meant to be boring, but most of the time, it's those characters that have deep and complex philosophies that are then explored in the duration of the story, especially if they're the flaws of the character. Like, one of my favorite examples of static characters is Ratner from Uncut Gems. He's played by that one guy from Resident Evil 4. Like Adam Sadler. The guy's a prick and a gambler at heart,
Oh.
and he dies a gambler and a massive prick. Like, he's the prime example of a static character. The audiences root for him to succeed by the virtue of the other guys being worse, and also the slight hope of him getting better. But like, this is the case for most static characters, but it's not really the case for Matilda, because you know, she's a very kind, she's a very positive person, and the trait that remains constant with her are all very positive. So again, how do they do it in the end? And
Anecdote.
yeah, anecdote. I
Oh,
guess this is where I bring Beryl into the picture once more. I think that despite the fact that we know that Matilda is capable, we know that Matilda is with conviction, and we know that she is very, very kind. It is far, far different from seeing her actually embody those values until the very end, where her life may be in danger. This reminds me of a scene in the first part of Beryl's story, like where Matilda comes into her home and tells her mom all about this orange haired girl that she saw and wanted to be with. I mean, become in the parade ceremony and attempts her best to convince her about it. And instead of divining the result, she instead trusts that she will have enough conviction and enough charisma to be able to do it. Like there's already a surefire way to know the answer, but there's nothing that can compare to receiving that experience firsthand and by yourself. And I think that kind of defines her character in a way. Like similarly, we may
Oh,
know everything about Matilda. Her character may appear simple on paper. We have all the things listed about her, but there is something rather special about seeing her in action that makes her truly appreciate her even more. And like that is the
oh,
main
that
difference as
reminds me
well.
of like
Yeah.
her side queue, the new one.
About
It has
yeah,
a
the
side
reflections.
name.
queue. Yeah, the reflections, because like it talks about how like so many reflections and like sides, but nothing can like compare to like the moment that she feels like in the present,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
which is just like her hugging her
Mhm.
mom.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, no matter how many reflections there are, the true image is still what is most important because it's where all of that information from the reflections come from. It's truly like no matter how much you try to write about something, it never compares to the real thing. Similar quite like six. And it's quite a bit interesting the way we see Matilda piece by piece, and despite knowing the facts of the matter, still love her nonetheless, and like also Beryl, with the capacity of seeing her as a character, seeing her future, like an archetype, but in the end, none of that, just simply as her daughter that she puts her faith in. And yeah, it's quite a lot, I know, and that's basically all of my thoughts. I tried to harmonize it quite a lot. I didn't get to include Bloom and all that. This is quite long enough. But genuinely, a flowing feast has been a feast to get through, and it's quite an experience.
Mm.
I tried to harmonize it as much as possible. I know that I didn't go through like my insane reactions about things and stuff, but I think at the end of the day, I think when I look back at this event, like a few months from now, a year from now, as I previously said, these are going to be my main takeaways from it, like the things that I will remember. I will remember how
Mm.
they made a new take about predetermination and executed it really well, and I will remember how Matilda has achieved this much character development as a character since the very start. And yeah, I know this is quite chaotic of a session and quite, rambly of a presentation. I originally expected this to be 40 minutes. It is now almost double that. And yeah, do you guys want to say something?
Oh my god. This entire bit just made me remember that, oh my god, there's always a part of me that will always appreciate the game for its content. And it's one of these moments because it actually makes me remember that, oh my god, these characters actually have depth. And I'm not supposed to be watching it passively. I'm supposed to be paying really close attention. I know that's ironic coming from the lore person, but like um but every single time it just makes me remember, oh my god, this character grew a lot from the last time I've seen them. Because Matilda has been like this one character I have been uh hesitant about to think of because to form an opinion on because I already have some like gripes with her in like in specifically in relation to her whole thing with Sonata, but that's like another conversation for a different day, right? But overall, remembering the fact that yeah, she has a family. Matilda and Beryl have each other, right? Yeah, it's really nice just to see it like presented on the table, pretty much. And I think at least here it's presented really well, no matter how rambly it was.
Yeah, because like I
I
feel.
think I
Uh,
think
go ahead.
yeah, you go for it. Yeah. You want me to go first?
Yeah,
Yeah,
go for it.
so I was like going to say that I think it's needed in like talks about the story, talking about the lore. Is like we I think it's like it's not that rambly. I mean it is maybe, but also it's needed because we're talking in like a place of as like the players, the ones, the
Mhm.
consumer basically, and having that opinion on like the things that we have experienced, the story and the game itself is valuable, and it is part of like analysis in itself. Is like it's a review basically.
Mm,
It's a review, it's
Mhm.
an impression.
Mm.
yeah, and like generally, it's quite nice to like simply take a step back and appreciate the entire thing in full view because like for me there's like two ways to appreciate the game's writing in a way, and the previous one is of course with all of the references that I have to end up researching and then seeing how historically accurate it is, what this thing is a reference to, what this thing um is referring to, and all of that research. I get to appreciate the amount of research that the team put into it, and then I get to share it with others. But another way of appreciating it is, of course, going to be this. It's going to be heavily subjective. And like originally, I didn't know how to present this because, it's a subjective thing. But at the end of the day, I just want to put forward what I felt during this thing and what I think I will feel after it. And I'm very much glad that I get to have this platform to do so. And I'm glad that you guys are also receptive to the fact because, oh my god, I'm very glad that I have your opinions because one other thing that is very important to me when um after finishing a story is seeing others' opinions of that same story that we experienced so that I have another perspective on how they saw things. But yeah.
It's such an interesting way to go about it. Like, among other things, right? I will just say, right? I think at least now, I appreciate the fact that we talked about Daryl and Matilda's relationship and all of this because,
Yeah.
oh my God, everyone's talking about Felicia and everyone's talking about Broom and everything.
Yeah.
But then you just remember, right?
I feel
Daryl and
like
Matilda are also there.
most people talk about yeah, Bloom and Felician, but like as like Burial, most people talk to about like in general Burial as like a character on her own rather than talking about like Burial and Matilda's relationship, which was like interestingly explored with like previous like interactions and all.
Mm. But yeah, it's quite nice to have this conversation every now
That
and
was a
again.
long awkward silence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think I spent way too much time already. It's been hour 20 past.
Wow.
But yeah.
Ugh. Okay. I forgot. Ugh.
We're still in the car, by the way.
We're still in the car, right? We're still in the car, right?
We need to go back to
Right.
the fucking space station.
We need to get out of Paris.
Yeah, we need to get out of Paris. Yeah.
We need to get out
Get
of
out of
France.
France.
Storm by now.
Oh
It's
my
almost a
god.
storm by now.
Yeah. Didn't expect a storm to happen in a non-main story event, but you know what? Fair enough.
Yeah.
Hey,
recording?
I mean, events
Sorry.
have like storms all the time. That one time with
Rayashi.
a free yeah.
Are we recording? Wait, I forgot.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
my bad. I didn't notice. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
hey, this session. Yeah.
yeah. Honestly, I forgot what I was about to say.
Uh,
Immediately for more.
I think we're all tired.
Yeah, I think we're all
We're all tired,
tired.
but like we're all tired, but like at least more energetic than the like last episode. It's like there's a
Yes.
there's a noticeable difference in energy and responsiveness in like the outro this time, Thomas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we have adjusted the system. We know what to do.
We're adjusting things in the background. At least we're
Yeah.
not as stressed as when we were trying to prepare this, right?
Yeah.
Right, right.
Uh, yeah. Yeah. Going back, we're still going back to the space station and all. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
still
we
had to
need
like
to
Yeah.
leave France.
we
That's
need to
like a
leave.
main point right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We need to leave
Mhm.
France, get to
Okay.
our space station that is somehow stormproof, and also, apart from that, we have to, of course, prepare for the next patch.
Oh no.
What? How many days is that again?
It's in a few weeks
Yeah,
from
it's in
now.
3 weeks.
I mean, we still have to
As
like
of this
spend
recording.
time watching the entire event, the entire chapter.
Yeah, all of that.
Probably
But
5 weeks.
you know what? I feel fine. I feel fine. I survived the flowing feast. The next patch can't be that
Mhm.
much worse.
Oh please!
Uh-huh. Let's just hope not. No, you know what? I've lost all hope the moment I heard about some of the things in the behind the scenes.
Yeah,
But
I'm
we'll see
completely
about it.
unspoiled. I'm fine. I'm happy right now. I am content with life. These other two, not as much, but like, yeah.
I know what's going to be happening, and that is like
Mhm.
that's like what I'm fearing right now on what I have to be talking about.
Yeah, you will be
on the
executed live on camera.
Oh
Yeah, on the
no!
bright side, listen. On the bright side, it's something that we're all anticipating for also. Unlike this patch where we were dreading the entire thing.
Yes.
But on the bright side, we made it to the end, of course, and all of us are content with it despite everything.
Mhm.
But yeah, pretty much. So, once again, this has been 199.9 FM, reminding you all that if you are lucky enough to have lived in Paris in your youth, then wherever you go for the rest of your life, it stays with you. For Paris is a movable feast. Well, this concludes today's broadcast. Thank you very much for listening.